There might be a lot of noise. Can you hear me? Is it really loud to the background? It's fine? Okay. Hello, Karen. All right. I guess testing. This is us. We're testing the current sound check. Welcome to our little get together, our little gathering. All right. Sorry, we got more people coming in. Hi. So welcome to Curious Mondo. All we're doing is eating. We're enjoying ourselves. We're having a little get together, a gathering, a party. If you didn't come, you are kind of missing out. What do you think about this mic, Nash? Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna try the next mic. All right, I am on. All right, sweet. Well, keep them both on, so they just hear the background noise. Okay. Today's been a good day, though. Today's been an extremely good day. About to even be better. All right, anyway, I'm gonna go find food for myself.
All right, friends at home. Just want to say welcome to our party. This is a truly fly on the wall event. We're here, we've got cameras at the studio, people are chit-chatting, and every once in a while we're going to have an interview and just introduce you to the folks here, okay? So just enjoy, have fun, just peeking, and maybe it's a little weird, but enjoy it, all right?
Just kidding. Oh yeah, okay. Smart. Do I need a charger?
I mean, if you want to go get it and do it, but I also want you to start.
So hello, we're actually setting up the chat so we could get your questions for the interviews at the same time as interview.
So afterwards you can get the charger. It's going to take all the cameras. I like that you set up the other one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, first.
I'm gonna let them decide. So everyone, whoever you want to interview first, go ahead, let me know in the chat, and I will bring them over.
Well, okay, so you get to choose, and we have, let's see here, we've got Jody McCraney Rusho at the party, we've got Cheryl Peterson, the stained glass artist, we've got Bev, we've got Karen Baker right there, who's pretending like she's hiding, but truly she's like earning for the camera. Then we have her mom, Karen's mom, and you've seen her at broadcasts. You met her, right?
Oh, I didn't know it was Karen's mom.
Yeah, I know. They look like sisters. We've got Shalyn from Crafting with Shalyn. She's here. Who else?
Just a little but cool.
We've got some Mondo makers, huh?
Oh well, they're saying. Someone mentioned.
Let us know. Who did they say?
Hi there, Nash. Just a little but cool. I don't know what you said before.
Okay. So let us know who you want us to interview.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we're just going to randomly pick. We've got Aubrey here. She did the bread making class. Remember that, Artem? The bread making.
I really need a notepad.
That was good.
We've taken so many classes at this point, and then certain instructors like Jody have like 17.
Yeah. I think she's up to like her 12th. I think.
Exactly.
Let's see. Maybe we should just randomly pick people who walk past us.
We could.
We've got Julio. Julio's.
Oh, what's her name?
Bev.
Should we do that? She's right here.
Yeah. Hey, Bev. Come on in. Come be our first victim.
Victim.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, my name is Artemis, for those that don't know.
Yes.
I am usually in the backgrounds, just taking care of.
Artem does the live editing. Like, folks don't realize how much goes on in our courses, but there's someone actually editing each course
Good.
live on the fly. Come on over. Have a seat, Bev.
Have a seat. A hot seat.
Have a seat. Here's your mic.
Oh my lord.
You can just
I'm bright.
flip it on right there. Hang on. Oh, there we go.
Oh, you can see us on the little TV if you look in the corner. How about?
Yeah, just
we'll do Karen after.
I'll just get you to hold this for me for a minute.
Okay.
because
Yeah, we're doing Bev first. She was the one
we
that
doing
did the
Bev
class
first?
today
Yeah.
for the hair, what is it called? The hair.
the fabric hardener herons.
herons. There you go. That's
Herons,
the word I
the
was
herons.
looking for. Yeah. So, what do you like about herons? Tell me what inspires you to pick them the most out of every animal?
They're what my paying public really likes.
Okay. Okay.
Just
I
to
see.
be really blunt, okay?
Oh no, that's fine. We want you blunt. Oh my.
Yeah.
computer screen's turned off. Do you know what they mean? Like what they resemble?
Yeah, actually they do. Because one of my first commissions was to create a heron for a courtyard
Yeah.
in a mental hospital.
Yeah, you told us about that.
Yeah, and so
Didn't you
basically,
make three? You made
I
three
made
herons.
3 of them. Yeah, and so the herons, because they really represent being, what's the word I'm looking for? Being very resourceful.
Resourceful.
Because there's such a big body on such a skinny leg.
Okay, I understand.
Okay. Yeah.
that's really
And so
cool.
that was, and so of course for the mental hospital that was really very quite.
What's your favorite physical aspect of the heron?
I love the beak and the
beak?
face. The beak and the face.
I noticed it's a lot more unique. It's a lot more longer, and it's not as flat as most birds.
Yeah.
Hi, Bev.
I take some time to do that.
So
Who's saying hi?
We have Diana Notch. I don't know if I said
Hi.
your name right. I apologize if I butchered it. But she's asking, what do you like to do?
What do I like to do? Ooh,
So when you are not working, what do you do on your spare time?
when I am not working, because I'm self-employed, there are not many opportunities that I'm not working.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love being down in my studio. My studio is my relaxed time. I love watching football.
Okay, football.
I love you too, Karen Baker. I'm drinking your white wine. It's behind over there. My husband and I both really love football, Canadian football.
Okay,
so
Canadian
we're huge.
football. I wonder if it's different.
It is. It's very different. It's 3 downs instead of 4, and it's a bigger field. So it's a tougher
It's a
game.
bigger field?
It's a bigger field.
What?
Yeah. So it's really a great game. You should try and watch it. So we love football, and so far I've been gardening in my yard, but we're getting ready to move.
Okay.
So we're going to be gardening in patio pots is the plan coming up.
You're from Ennis, right?
What's that?
Where was the place that you're
Edmonton,
from?
Alberta.
Edmonton. I said Ennis. So
Yeah,
that was
Edmonton,
wrong.
yeah.
Edmonton. Oh, it was right. Okay.
Edmonton, Alberta. So,
Tell me how it is like over there.
we're straight north. Straight
different
north.
is it?
20 hours north from here.
What in your opinion, what makes it stand out compared to the rest of Canada?
Ooh, I think because we're a very friendly city, we're a very blue-collar city. Okay,
blue-collar.
So we have a lot
Is that
of
crime? Is it blue collar?
no, it's
Oh,
not
okay,
crimes.
all right.
It's people who work for a living. Yeah, it's people who work for a living. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
And
that
so
makes
instead
sense.
of having a lot of professionals, that are professional people, we have a lot of workers, like a blue-collar workers.
Okay.
So
So
the
it's like more
electricians
business,
and
right? Usually-
there is business. There's lots of business.
That's
there.
what I hear when I hear blue collar.
Yeah, there's lots of business, but we have a lot of blue-collar workers.
Let's look at the questions really
All
quick.
right, perfect.
Oh, she says she loves a dragon. It's still Diana Notch.
Perfect.
And she's asking, what do you like to make the most? So you make herons because your customers ask, but what do you actually like to make?
The dragons have been a wonderful challenge.
Yeah.
I like challenging myself to try and create something new. And so my next challenge now is to scale down that dragon. So
Okay.
I love taking a picture and figuring out how can I build that? What does the armature need to look like? What does my base need to be?
You said the wings were hard because they kept drooping, right?
Absolutely. On that first one, because I hadn't problem solved it properly, but on my second one, it's solid.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you learned as you
Exactly.
said.
Exactly. Yeah.
You said that you had a lot of experience with life earlier. So
Yeah.
love the dragon.
The dragon.
What else should I ask you? Is there anything you would like to say?
What I am, first of all, you guys take such good care of us here at Curious Mondo.
thank you.
I feel like I've been treated like royalty, so that's really been great.
Well,
And-
you provide us with with content. We can't just.
Yeah.
If you weren't here, we wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
We
Well,
have
and
no
that's what
purpose.
Cliff says. He says if you weren't here, we wouldn't have a job.
Exactly.
And so it's really lovely to be treated that way. But the community is really quite outstanding.
Yeah, we have a lot of
and having an
great people.
opportunity
We
today
have
to
been doing
meet
the questions.
some of the people.
Facebook because they have questions there too.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'll have to go back and forth. Oh, it's fine.
if you've got more questions and other things I can talk about, the other things other than me, that would be great.
Other things other than you. You're the main. We're interviewing.
Why not just talk about it?
We're interviewing you, and you want to change the subject.
So you've tried your hand at sculpting now, huh?
Yes,
yeah.
I did.
You think you're gonna continue?
That was interesting. It was a bit intimidating sitting beside Karen Baker and sculpting
Oh my
by
God,
the
this is so
master.
funny.
Oh, but
Everyone's like, so, Beverly, what do you like to? I mean, how they say it?
tell me a bit about yourself.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, Beverly. And then she's like, well, my name is Beverly, and I'm sitting next to Karen Baker. I was laughing so hard.
Well, the truth be known, I wouldn't be with Curious Mondo had it not be for Karen Baker.
So how did Karen introduce you to Curious Mondo?
So basically what happened is across my Facebook page was a photograph of Mother Nature to advertise her class, and it happened that it was being on live right at that point in time, and the picture intrigued me. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's really pretty. And so what I did is I popped in for a few minutes because I'm busy, and she happened to be talking about proportions right at that time.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I could use that in my business.
Sure.
So I started listening and started watching, and 3 days later, I was still there.
You can check the comments here and on this page.
Yeah, just go back and forth, actually.
Okay. So that was the cool thing is that I started watching. I was intrigued. So she hooked me in with the proportions because it was something I needed, and then I started watching her do her work. Mm-hmm. And number one, she's an amazing teacher, and she's a fabulous artist.
This is, I read this. It was. Oh, never mind. I probably shouldn't quote stuff from the Bible.
And so it was really actually really good. I quite enjoyed working with Karen, watching Karen. I landed up buying the class. I am going to try my hand at that sculpting one day.
I actually think if you merge them together, what you're doing currently as well as sculpting.
Absolutely, and that was kind of my thought process as well
exactly.
too. Is that I could totally.
The wings drooping would never be an issue. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
Let me look at the comments again. Are we all having fun at the party? Vicky Bloom says.
Oh,
we are.
We are. Hey, I'm drinking white wine, and we have fabulous food. Shaylin brought the best beef ever.
Oh my gosh.
My gosh,
I
so good. And the enchiladas were amazing, and so.
Oh, there's enchiladas?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, enchiladas. See, he's busy right now. He can't.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Karen, you've been asked to be interviewed next, by the way. So get ready.
You can join me on my interview, Karen.
Are you all having fun at the party? Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the other one.
See if there's any more questions. So yes, so every now and then you'll end up meeting somebody, and if somebody says you can't make friends on social media, it's not true. It's not true. If you are real with who you are on social media, you will connect with other real people, and that's totally what's happened for me here with this.
That.
So I think social media is, you have to be careful with it.
Of course.
You have to be careful with it, but I think that if you use it wisely, it can totally expand your life.
Right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So take advantage of. Cliff said this. He's usually our cameraman. I'm not sure where he's at the moment, but he said
He's working.
Oh, he's working?
He's working, yeah.
Oh,
See,
so
I know
no.
that. He's working at his real job, yeah.
Sad, his wife's here.
Yeah.
And he has to work.
So you know you've been around a long time when you know what everybody's up to, right?
Yeah. On your comment, though, he stated that he took out his phone to me, and he's like, you have the universe at your disposal in your back pocket. He's
Absolutely.
like, all the information humanity has ever made is in
right
your
there.
pocket.
Absolutely. It's a bit mind-blowing.
It is.
It is very much
Let me read the
mind-blowing.
comments again.
Okay.
All right, so that was a fun time watching you all interact with each other, and we're able to build a piece you didn't know what you would be doing.
Yeah. It's too bad. I'm a little sad that they cut out on the eyes just when we were all having a good giggle on that. So.
That was really funny. Beverly's was like one of the only ones with eyes.
It's because I had a secret ingredient.
Yeah, she pre-prepared, and it wasn't cheating because if we didn't specify, you can't do that.
Absolutely, I didn't break any rules.
Exactly.
So yeah,
You
I
could-
just I didn't time it properly. I should have put them in just a little bit sooner. My timing was off. Yeah, my timing was just a bit off. So next time.
Let me look back at Facebook. All right, any further questions for Beverly here? If not, I'm gonna go have a little snack.
Oh yeah, you're gonna go
then I'll
try
come back
some of the
and- with
enchiladas now. He's off to the enchilada tray is what he's after. So hopefully there's still some left.
Actually, what did she say? Oh, for
get that?
That'd be
Oh,
awesome.
there's wine over there, and this is Albert. Come on in, Albert. This is Albert, the bee guy. Albert Chubak, the honeybee guy. Honeybees. You can take
It was
the
an
mic now.
eye.
An
They said that you
eye.
put an eye.
Eye jokes continue.
Funny. No, that was a
You
good
guys
one.
are doing
It was
things live on the air.
Yeah, exactly.
On the air.
If you could see, you're right there.
Everybody.
You can take my spot
So
now.
what do you do?
Albert. No,
What do you do?
absolutely.
I'm a bee guy.
A big guy? You want to sit down?
Uh-oh.
I'll mic you up. You hold my wine.
Well, it was your fault. You walked up. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you are in trouble now.
I'm all wired up now.
Okay, just let me get under your arm.
Have you had too much caffeine or?
No.
I'm kidding. I'm
Albert works
making
too
fun.
hard. There
Get
we
it
go.
wired?
There you
Never
go.
mind.
No.
Here you go.
There you go. Taser, have fun with Albert, you guys.
It was an eye. Shelly Knight said that. Your last name is really cool.
Hey, Shelly Knight.
So, well, tell us your name.
Albert Chubak.
All right, and what is your Albert Chubak? You said right, and then what is your profession? I remember I see you on the wall all the time when I walk into work. You're a beekeeper, right?
And I'm also a general contractor, but
So,
the beekeeper stuff is what I do.
what are some of the best health benefits of honey?
You know, if you eat a little bit of honey every day, it'll build up your body's immune system so that you won't have allergies and stuff like you would normally.
That
have
makes
had.
a lot of sense. I heard that honey is packed with micronutrients. Is that true?
Yeah, honey is a superfood, so is
Superfood.
pollen, so is
And it's a supplement for
royal
sugar.
jelly. They all are. They're
Royal jelly.
superfoods. They have all of the enzymes essential for life.
Okay.
Gentlemen, I need to interrupt.
That's
I
fine.
need to leave.
Oh, really?
Nash wanted me to come and say hi and let everybody go home.
So you're leaving and bringing back Cliff?
No, I have to go. We have to go and teach an obedience class.
Ugh. How do we change your plans?
Oh, but
I could come
you
back
doing?
after 8:30.
Okay, that's fair.
yeah, you're
But we have to go
beautiful.
teach. Thank you.
Yeah,
Say thank you.
yeah.
But everyone's having fun, we're eating food, drinking.
I'm gonna come and squeeze between you.
That's fine.
There we go.
Yeah, we
So
have a
what do you
dog.
do?
I am starting. I am doing powder pull.
Oh, she's one of the Mondo makers. Do you want the
Yes,
mic
I'm
for a
Mondo-
second?
Oh.
Just for a second?
Yeah, I'm a Mondo maker. Yeah, see? I'm one of the Mondo makers. I've been doing the heron class with Bev
Oh,
this week. So we,
I saw you guys last
we
night.
did, yeah. You got to see my kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
I got,
Weren't you doing? You were clay on this other side.
yes.
Yep.
Yep, on the very end, yes.
Yeah, I watched.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of flack from friends because I keep saying I as in eyeball, EYE. I told them it doesn't qualify as an I yet. So, but we've been, it's great to be with you guys.
Oh, it is. I think it's a blast here almost every time.
It was a really fun week, and hopefully more people come and do it because it was a blast.
I think so too. I
I hope we get
you
enough
should
more
come often. You have
opportunities.
easy access.
I do, and if there are more reasons to come, I will be here.
We'll get
So.
on top of it. We'll make more money.
But Taser and I are going to go and teach some dogs how to heal. So
We actually have a comment. Let me put my mic back on. We'll talk about the comment, Miss Knight.
it was nice
See
to
you.
meet you.
Take care.
All right, so she says, we have bee boxes. Shelly Knight states, we have bee boxes in our garden for two types of mason bee we get in the UK. They fertilize.
Our apple and cherry trees.
Apples and
Mason bees are fantastic pollinators. They don't produce any honey, but there's people that don't want them to produce honey. They just want to have
Just
everything
bees?
in their area pollinated.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And so you can have tons of mason bees. You can have.
Do they sting humans?
What's that?
Is there bees that don't kind of avoid humans?
Bees just do their thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know
And so-
whenever I get close to one, they're getting all aggressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and, well, most of the time the things that are aggressive are the wasps and hornets. And the sad thing is most people, when something flies around them and goes buzz,
Oh, yeah.
they think it's a bee because it's buzz.
Yeah.
Well, no, and typically here in the U.S., if it has yellow on it, distinct canary yellow,
Yeah. It's
Which
it's
I
okay.
don't see anything
I know.
around, but-
oh, the caution tape,
yeah,
which they can't
the
see.
caution tape.
In the corner of that screen, there was a little
Yep.
bit of yellow in the corner.
Yep. That if it has distinct canary yellow on it, it is not a honeybee. And a lot of people will, the media teaches us wrong. They
I
show
believe
us
that.
bees having yellow and black. Well, no, a honeybee is not that. And so when people get stung and they look at it and it looks like what the media is teaching you is a honeybee,
Yeah.
you think, well, it's the
Freak
bees
out.
that did it. Well, no, actually. I can go into a hive and I can pull out frames of bees and I can pet them and play with them.
No way.
They're not aggressive.
That's so
Yet,
crazy.
a wasp in a hornet's nest? Not a chance.
They're the aggressive ones,
And
right?
so mason bees, they also don't sting. They're not aggressive.
They're mainly passive, Shelley Knight says, the mason bees.
What's that?
Shelley Knight states that they're
Yeah.
mainly passive.
Yeah. They if they spent any time defending, they wouldn't be able to do any work. And so mason bees or solitary bees, they just go about their own thing. One that we have here, it's a blue orchard bee. It's the best pollinator on the planet, yet it doesn't produce honey.
Really?
Honeybees pollinate better than a blue orchard bee,
Yeah.
but the issue is that you have a colony of 80 to 100,000 bees.
Okay. So
That's
they
why.
multiply really quick. I see.
Yeah, so that's the difference.
What is the most? What's a bee that's considered a pest? One that maybe doesn't pollinate correctly.
No, I would go back to the wasps and hornets.
Wasps and hornets.
All bees and stuff pollinate. They do their thing. But even wasps and hornets, you think, well, what purpose does a wasp and a hornet do? Go figure. A wasp and a hornet is excellent to have in your garden. And the reason is they are territorial
Yeah.
and they eat all the aphids and all the other little bugs so that you don't have to use as chemicals as much
That makes sense.
to treat.
That's really cool.
And so here we think, oh, it's a hornet's nest or a wasp's nest, let's get rid of it. If it's in a corner of your yard, let them do their thing. They'll clean and they'll kill stuff, and there'll be something that will die and they'll eat it up. They'll chomp it up, and
that sounds really good.
they're awesome.
What is your opinion on them going extinct? I heard some bees are going extinct. They're not?
Now, I saw a little while ago somebody posted that some bees have been put on the endangered list.
Yeah.
And
That's what I'm talking
yeah, there were a few, but they were bees out of Australia that are a specific bee in a specific area.
Okay.
It's not like, okay, there's 20,000 bees, different types of bees on the planet. 20,000.
It's a lot.
Honeybees are only one portion of those little 20,000. And out of the honeybees, there's probably 20 different types of honeybees.
Yeah.
I just did an article on my Facebook where I listed all the different types of honeybees. Honeybee is referred to as an apis.
Apis.
Apis, which means honey, and mellifera, which is bee.
Okay.
It's just their Latin name. And as
Terminology in a sense, right?
huh?
Latin terminology.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go on. Sorry.
And so honeybees, there's about 20 different varieties of honeybees. Here in the United States, we have some European ones. The African bees were imported to Brazil, 1954 or so. They spread all over South America, all through Central America, and they have taken over half of the U.S.
Oh, really?
So we have Africanized bees in the southern states. But typically we have European bees, and European bees are really friendly.
Maybe all Europeans are just friendly. Maybe I'm wrong. I've never been to Europe. But we do have another comment. Wow, good to know our honeybees are doing well.
Yes and no.
Okay, tell us the yes first.
So yes, our honeybees, there's lots of bees and people can replicate bees really, really fast. I feel, and this is me standing on my soapbox, this is what our issue is. We have honeybees that aren't surviving a year. And it's not necessarily that they're not surviving a year because of pesticides. Beekeepers need to know how to keep them alive.
Okay.
Beekeepers know how to harvest, but I don't believe that beekeepers are really skilled at caring for them. And so the Curious Mondo classes that we taught, one of the classes taught how you can start with a little shoebox size beehive.
Yeah.
And you actually rear your own queen. And what's cool with that is you're learning all the stages and cycles so that when you do decide to get into a bigger hive, you know how to keep them alive because it's the same as a little one, just it's much bigger.
I see.
And so I've taught kids as young as 4 and 5 years old how to raise bees, and they have cared for them and they have multiplied them, yet there's other people that buy a big hive, they put a 3-pound package of bees in it, and they go out to the hive a couple times, they get stung, so they leave it, and there's no learning, there's nothing going on, and in fall, you don't know what's going on, you take some of the honey, in spring they're dead, you get another package, you put them in, that's not sustainable. Whereas ours, we can make more, I'm teaching how to raise a queen, so if you want another colony, you know how to make another colony, and another one, and another one. And if your friend wants to get into it, you can take some bees from your hive and start a new colony in your friend's hive. That's sustainable.
So just educate yourself, basically. I like that.
Yeah.
So I watched this movie. It was called The Bee Movie. Are you familiar with it?
With Seinfeld?
I don't remember. I don't quite remember. It was so long ago.
Cartoon.
But I remember that they said that they had a lifespan of almost a week or something like that.
Honeybees live for 4 to 6 weeks. The Bee Movie, I really liked it, but there's a lot of things wrong in it.
Okay.
And so I'll tell you what they are. But a honeybee lives for 4 to 6 weeks. The last 2 weeks of its life, it forages. So when you see a bee out flying and going to a plant, in the bee world, that's an old grandma.
Okay.
Something wrong in the movie is foraging bees are only girls.
Oh, really?
Only girls. So in the movie where they showed all these big macho, big tough guys, those are drones. Drones do nothing.
Nothing at all?
They eat and they check out nearby hives and they wait for their chance to mate with a queen. That's it.
No way.
That's eat and mate. That's all they do. And offer body heat if they need it.
If they need it.
All the girls do everything else. Everything else. And so in the movie where it had Seinfeld, which is a guy, off foraging.
He had a Seinfeld show, right?
What's that?
He had his own show. It was a Seinfeld show. It was really popular, actually, in the U.S. It was one of the most...
Yeah. One part of the movie that I really liked is when Seinfeld is, the bee, is up against the window, and he keeps on smacking his head up against the window and says, he stops and says, "This is messed up. A bee can't figure out a window. A bee is attracted to light.
You see all the time.
And it goes to the light, and if there's glass there, it won't go to the dark and find another way. It will stay there until it dies."
Okay, that's so sad.
So let's say you get bees inside your house. Turn off all the lights, close off all the windows so they're dark, open one window so that it has light, and that bee will fly right out that window.
Okay, that's really smart. I'm going to do that next time. Let me look at comments one more time. Oh, we got a picture of a beehive.
Yeah, that's honeycomb. The red and black stuff in there it's pollen, but it's actually called bee bread. The bees bring back pollen to the hive. Once they get it back to the hive, another bee takes it off of their legs, and they add gut enzymes and stuff, and they pack it and ferment it, and that's their protein.
Okay.
And then that's usually on the edge of where babies are, but if you look just next to it, you'll see the shiny little golden stuff.
Yeah.
That's nectar that they're dehydrating. It's not quite honey yet.
Okay.
The way you know it's honey is it's capped.
Oh, by the way, what we're looking at is on the Curious Mondo page at the moment. Let me scroll up because we missed a few comments. Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah.
All right,
Looks
so
like a
here's
little
picture.
swarm of bees.
So it's Shelly Knight still part of the swarm in our compost bin.
Yeah, there must be some food in there that they're going to, and they're fighting over it.
Okay, I can see that.
Typically,
Compost
honeybees
is food.
aren't attracted to rotting things, smoked things like barbecues. They're not attracted to that. They only want nectar. Now, that group of bees, either it's a swarm that relocated and that's right where they're at,
Oh, really?
because I've actually picked up swarms that have found the inside of a compost container because it's nice and confined.
And plus it's heat, right? It's heat, isolates heat.
The other thing that could be is underneath that, it could be that there's fruit that they're taking the sugars from. Could be water on there that they're collecting. But yeah, that's a nice little ball. That's a nice
Here's
little
clean
piece of
hive.
comb.
Yeah, it looks really good. I call it hive, so it's called
Typically,
comb.
if you look into the bottom of those cells, see how there's a Y-shaped
Clear.
crosshair?
Oh, yeah, I do see that.
When a queen lays a baby or an
Yeah.
egg, it goes right down in the bottom center of those crosshairs.
Oh, really?
And it stands up. And so that's one of the things that you look for when you're inspecting a
When it
hive.
hatches, does it eat its way up?
No, so it's a little egg that just is standing at the bottom like that. And when it hatches, it's a little teeny weeny little worm, kind of like the thickness of a thread. And within a few days, it grows
Larva,
and
right?
grows until it's a big fat worm, larva.
Isn't
And-
that what they call like the stage before, the worm stage? Don't they call it larva? Maybe I'm wrong. I might be
Larva.
wrong.
Larva.
Yeah, okay, sweet.
And so that was brand new white comb. So that tells you that it's brand new. Beeswax, that's the way it looks. It's bee fat. And as it gets older, it turns darker. It turns yellow, then eventually to a brown and a black.
Okay.
And the reason is some of it is darkening with time. Other
Stained by the
is
honey.
that they polish it with propolis, and it
Clean
changes color.
Oh.
They disinfect those cells every time they use them.
Oh, that's so nice.
They will not tolerate anything bad.
Your honey is clean. Whenever you get your honey from your beehive,
A beehive is food
clean.
grade.
It's food grade. We do have a comment. Thank you for the pics from Diana Notch. Yeah, thank you, Shelly Knight. That was actually really nice of you.
Yeah, that's a swarm hanging from a tree. And there's
honeycomb.
people that are typically scared of those.
That looks scary, honestly.
But they are doing the funnest thing in a bee's life. They're looking for a new home, and that
that's a new
queen
home.
is in there somewhere.
okay.
And so I take a beehive, I put it underneath that, or I shake the branch off into the beehive,
Yeah.
and those bees will just dig right back down into that box. They're not aggressive. The only way that would be aggressive is if you did something to them. Like once, there was a job that I got called to. The kids were just about to put fireworks underneath a swarm. Yeah, not a good thing. There's probably 10,000 bees in there.
Oh, no way. It looks kind of small, but it's probably really compact.
So just know that if you get stung by 1,100 bees, whether or not you're allergic, it's fatal. So there's way more bees in that ball.
Okay.
So you don't want to promote them being aggressive. So that's
picture-
nectar
yeah,
and
that's
pollen.
the one we talked about at first. Diana Notch said, we need more people to know how to raise the bees so we can have local honey and make sure the bees thrive.
Yes.
And
Yep, absolutely.
I agree with that too, because I work at a supplement store and all our honey has additives inside, and that's not healthy. Unless, well, depending which ones. But like, you don't want too much sugar when honey is a sugar itself, right?
Typically, honey isn't supposed to have additives. It's supposed to be right from the hive that way. But sadly, there's people that add flavors. There's people that add corn syrups. People add sugar water. People add flavors. And they shouldn't. It's wonderful by itself. I have beekeepers, I see beekeepers compete with each other with honey. And the thing that's funny is when I go to shows and conferences, I buy honey from everybody.
Oh, really?
Because I want to see all the different flavors that are there. It's kind of like for those of you that drink wine, you don't just have one bottle of wine that you like. You have a whole bunch.
I agree.
And it's because that they all have different flavors and different smells and different tastes, and they're for a different thing. They have sentimental reasons for this or that. And so the same thing with honey.
My philosophy is when something is repetitive, you get sick of it.
There was a honey last year that I bought in the East.
Yeah.
And the guy had it tested. It turned out it was mostly tree honey.
Oh, really?
And one of the things that was in this honey was like 40% poison ivy.
Oh!
And it's like, okay, you and I, we can't touch it because we'll break out in a rash. But the bees collect honey from it, nectar from it,
Yeah.
and produce honey, and it was great. But it was a little bit different. It was tart. And so typically when you taste honey, you're looking for sweet. And in this case, it was sweet, but it also was tart, which is a unique thing for a honey.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really like that. There's one out of California that I really like. It's called meadow foam. So meadow, like as a grass meadow,
Yeah.
and
Field.
foam, like your mattress, so meadow foam.
Fluffy,
And
soft.
it produces a honey that is my favorite. It basically, it starts off tasting like fruit. The aftertaste is marshmallow.
What?
It's incredible. You can go on Amazon, buy a bottle of it from
crazy.
somebody. But it's called meadow foam. It starts off tasting fruity. Can't tell what kind of fruit, but the aftertaste is marshmallow. It's insanely delicious. And so just envision all the different plants and all the different things the bees are going to. Lavender honey is also incredible.
Oh, I bet. I
And
love
so
lavender, the smell of it.
So just think, when you smell lavender and it
it turn
smells
purple?
nice,
Would the honey turn purple?
there are some that do.
Okay.
There's lots of varieties of colors.
Okay. I'm so used to just the generic,
Yeah,
brownish
no, there's
yellow.
lots of colors. But lavender honey, when you taste it, you think, wow, that's what lavender tastes like.
Oh my gosh,
And it's
I need to
incredible.
try
It's
that.
an amazing flavor.
Hello, Karen. You'll be up shortly. You gotta give us a moment. We have a few comments we're gonna go through. All right. Let's see. We have more people to raise. Diana Notch says, "That's good to know. I love it." I'm reading the top one. Diana Notch also says, "How to not harm the bee in the house so we can get out." Oh, okay. You
Yep,
did mention
with the
that,
window.
light. Yeah.
Here's another little trick.
Let's hear it.
Let's say that you have bees that are in the walls of your house.
Oh.
Honeybees, and you don't have anybody that's a professional. I go remove them. But let's say they're in a place that either you can't get somebody hired to come out to pull them out, or they're in a place that you don't want to have cut up. On a nice warm day in the morning,
Yeah.
you're going to go out and you're going to smear honey all over the outside entrance of this hive.
Oh, really?
It could be a wall, it could be a chimney, it doesn't matter what it is. What's going to happen is other bees in the area are going to smell that honey. They're going to come and they're going to clean it up. They're going to go tell their friends. They're going to come back. They're going to tell more friends, come back. And then after they're done cleaning all that up, they infiltrate the hive that's in the wall.
Yeah.
And there's a little battle that goes on. The bees that are inside the wall then vacate. They take off because they're fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
And then all the bees in the neighborhood come and basically loot and steal
okay.
everything that was inside that
makes
cavity.
sense. That's kind of cool.
And that way you don't need pesticides. All you're just smearing a little bit of honey on there.
That's like from your history books when you read how like emperors go claim other territories and whatnot. That's really creative. I really like that.
So if you have bees that are in a chimney, it's really hard to get them out. Just smear honey on a nice hot day, and you'll have other bees that will come, and the bees will take care of it.
we had a swarm in that compost bin 2 years in a row. There would have been fruit in it.
Yeah.
Diana Notch says, that last comment was Shelly Knight. Diana Notch says, honey is good raw and best if it doesn't spoil. And she really likes clover honey.
Yep. Yeah. As long as the bees have dehydrated it to 16% moisture content, that honey is good forever. But if it has a moisture content of 17 or 18%, it'll eventually ferment.
Okay.
And so that would need to be kept in a fridge.
I heard, I read this like article or something, but they found honey in a tomb that was still edible.
Thousands and thousands of years old. And it's still good.
All right, so let me just go over the comments really quick. Honey from Poison Ivy, how interesting. That was said by Diana Notch.
Yeah, it's really good, by the way.
And then Sandy Ward. Oh, Sandy Ward asks, when you see the white boxes in public areas, are those honeybees?
Yes.
So yeah, so those are honeybees. But we are going to take a short intermission. I'm a little hungry. I want to go, eat a little bit. But we will be back shortly. Give us like maybe 5 to 10 minutes. 10 minutes. But thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about bees, but I got educated.
They're a lot of fun.
So, yeah. But just hold tight, everyone. We'll be back shortly.
Karen Baker's mother.
It's my mom.
Yes. Have a seat. And then
Don't say anything embarrassing now.
clip this on.
Where?
Clip it just right here. It's fine.
Does that work?
That's perfect.
Are we going to show pictures of my art?
Well, I would love to, but that poses a challenge.
Oh, no, okay. I didn't
Okay.
know if that's what you wanted to know.
You can if we interview you for an episode of Creativity in Focus.
Later.
So, at a later date, Shahar should do that.
Okay.
But today, you just get to have fun and chit chat.
Okay. Can I tell?
This is definitely not allowed.
What?
This is not a table
What?
for your beverage.
I thought it was.
Alright, so people are leaving comments over here that you can check in. And then also here. Hi Karen, hi Nash.
Hi, Diane.
So just go click here, click there.
Where? Click where?
Click on this tab
Yep.
and you can see questions that come in here.
And then if I want to answer,
Then you just talk to
I
the
just
camera.
talk. It's
Yes.
very bright. Nice. Oh crap. Let's put it
There
on
we go.
my. Okay.
That's perfect. And then if you click here, you can see, so we have people watching on Facebook as well. So
It's nice, isn't it?
like Bree just joined us.
Hi, Bree. Hey, Bree.
All right, everyone, say hi, Bree. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, read the comments here, read the comments there.
Okay.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, everybody. We're just here at the Curious Mondo Bash after party. That's my camera, and there's a bright light, so I apologize for my squinting. But, oh, more people are coming in the door. It's so exciting. But what's really exciting is I have my mom with me. Here she is. This is the well from which I have sprung, and I brought her with me today. And we're going to talk to her.
I sprung from my mother, who was an
That's
artist.
right. What?
Sorry,
Hang
time to
on.
interrupt. Come on in.
Come on
She
in.
just wants to say hi to her husband. Hi, honey. She's coming home.
Bye. So anyway, we come from a long line of really talented people, and my grandmother, my mom's mom, was very, she was very artistic. She was very headstrong. She was a fantastic woman, and following in her footsteps is my mom. very headstrong, very outspoken. Does amazing paintings. Mom, when did you start painting?
When I was 53.
When she was 53.
After I had 7 children and the youngest got to be 3. Well, that would be a little bit sooner than that, 47, 42. About 45 I started, I guess.
And what would you say inspired you to start painting?
Well, my mother was a painter, and I used to go down and help her paint backgrounds when I had a lot of little kids, just put the backgrounds in mountains and things like that. And I always drew ever since I was 3 years old.
I can remember sitting in church, and she would draw little pictures on the back of the programs, and it kept me so entertained, and I remember that as a little kid. I loved that.
I always painted.
Yeah.
Turtles.
Drawing, painting. Yeah, turtles were really
Fish.
Good. Yeah. Puppies. Yep. And when you started painting.
Actually, I took you to art lessons. When you were 16 years old, I found an oil painting teacher.
Right.
And I took you there, and I saw some women doing it, and I thought,
I could do this.
I want to do this too.
Yeah.
So I started taking lessons.
And
you were 16.
I was 16 when I took my first official oil painting class. And she was like a woman possessed. I remember you just painted.
I painted till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. She was very focused on what she was doing, and then she started doing watercolor.
Yes, second watercolor, and then I met a lady that was doing pastels.
Yes, I remember
So I
that.
started doing pastels, and then I met a lady that was doing acrylic, so I started doing acrylics. And acrylic is probably my favorite medium because it dries so fast, and I'm very fast at painting. And
She likes to do things fast. Fast is her.
yep,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to slow down, and I'm trying.
But besides your painting, you've also been a sewer.
Seamstress, yes. I used to sew all of your kids' clothes, the
Yep,
girls
she used to make my
especially.
clothes.
I even made a suit for your little brother when he was Kevin, when he was a little, not a, what do you call it, ring bearer for a cousin's wedding.
Yeah.
But I did that, but now I do quilts for all of my grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And
She also knits and crochets. What else do you do? You do a lot of different things.
well, I play the organ.
That's a whole nother thing of art, right? Is music, and she's extremely musical, more than myself. She plays the organ beautifully. She plays piano. She's played the flute.
Your dad used to play
My
the organ,
dad
and
was
so
a
we played duets.
fantastic- Yep, my dad was also a fantastic musician. So I come from a long line of not just artistically gifted people, but musically as well. And not that I'm musically gifted, but
Yes, she is. When she was 3 years old,
here we go.
she sang a song, and I harmonized while she was singing. And I accompanied her and harmonized, and she held the melody and sang.
That's when you see Shahar and I sing together all the time. What? Yeah, I'm the interviewer. I'm interviewing my mother, and it's
There is
good.
one rule. You never leave Karen Baker alone.
in front of the camera.
Rule number 1.
Pretty soon we're gonna start singing.
This lady here is
Here we
an
go.
amazing painter.
We've
Yes.
been talking about that. We're ready to break into song right now.
I was saying that when she was 5 years old, we went to My only sunshine, you make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. When she was 5, at Harvard General Hospital in California, my mother worked there. She went and sang a little Christmas song, and I played, and I harmonized while she carried the melody at 5.
Really?
Yes, she
I'm a
was.
terrible singer,
No, you're not.
but I like to sing.
Yeah, so that's good. She's very talented in everything.
I know. But what about your painting?
Yeah.
We've been talking about it.
Been
Keep talking because
Yeah.
they need to know you. They need to look for you on Facebook and see your miniature paintings.
I'm going to have an Etsy store pretty
Etsy.
soon.
I'm teaching her how to
Etsy.
say it. Etsy.
If I learn how to say it. Etsy store.
Etsy.
Painting miniatures.
Yeah.
And they're awesome.
We have to open up a store and get her started. So we're going to be working on that.
Yep. I've got the pictures. I just don't know how to get them on the Etsy.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll work on that. We have any
Anyway,
questions?
I enjoy my daughter Karen a lot because we're very much alike in some ways. We are. We can butt heads real easy too, but we try not to. I have to get my Karen fixed at least once a week, or I feel like that's why I moved to Utah, so I could get my Karen fixed.
It's fun. We have a
We
lot
both
of fun.
like animals, really.
We do love animals.
Yeah, that too. And, you know, she sparks my need to paint,
Yes.
but she's already got, what else, Karen?
What else? I don't know. I'm running out of things to talk about, Mom.
Well, you know, I've done a lot of pastel paintings of animals like cats.
Yes, you have.
I've sold a lot of them out of a restaurant that I used to have them
I
in.
used to have mine there too.
You did too, didn't
did.
you? In California.
Yep.
And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I haven't done a pastel for a long, long time.
I know. I really enjoy pastel, especially on that velvet paper. How it takes it so
Yeah.
smooth. Yeah.
Suede paper.
Suede paper. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun to do.
It's a lot of fun. What?
You're just looking totally comfortable up there.
Well, I am. I mean, I was born to be in front of the camera. Now I just need to get thinner so I don't look, you know.
Let's not talk about thinner, please.
Let's talk about it. 10 pounds.
We don't talk about thinner.
Ads. Yeah, I know. That's why I wear these. What? Did you say get thinner? Yeah.
We said, who wants to get thinner?
I said, who wants to get thinner? Come on. Bring it. Bring it. Yeah, they made a mistake putting me in front of the camera.
I like to
by
brag about my
myself.
daughter, and she doesn't like me to, but she also...
I would love it.
All right, so I'm going to introduce a new guest,
Okay.
Sarah.
Sarah.
Sarah,
And I'm going to leave.
thank you for your
Thank
interview
you.
and
Let's
talking
hear
about
it
your
from my mama. Woo! Thank you, Mama. Don't trip on the light.
Have a seat. Click that on.
All right.
So, do you know Sarah? Have you met
Hi, Sarah. No.
Okay.
Sarah is amazing.
Thank you.
Fibers. especially,
Fibers.
right?
I'm one of the fiber artists here.
Okay.
Okay, you guys.
Yes. Yes,
So
indeed.
fiber, like, what kind?
Well, I really enjoy merino wool. That's my
Yeah.
favorite breed of wool, and I love alpaca. Alpaca is probably my favorite fiber ever. So I
Yeah.
use that a lot. And so I knit, I spin, I weave. I had taught a pinloom weaving class for Curious Mondo previously, and now I'll be back in another week and a half or so with a class on beginning knitting.
Fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to join up with that. I'm
Yeah.
a knitter, but I'm not really good. Sometimes I get kind of lost in the patterns. But,
Well, you know, this will be a
love
class.
fiber.
It's great for those who have never done any kind of knitting before, and so they've been wanting to learn, and they're just coming to it. And it's also for those who have done knitting years ago, and now
Wanna pick
they
it
need a
up again.
refresher course because they've forgotten what to do. They've forgotten some piece of the puzzle, and now they need to have, you know, some kind of a refresher course.
So are you going to go into things like knit purl, obviously, but
Yeah.
but are you going to cover any of the things like decreases and increases?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So this is it will be all the beginner basics, but it will actually kind of lead up a little bit into doing intermediate level
So following
because
a pattern.
we'll talk about the various abbreviations that you'll encounter in a pattern, you know, very standard ones, and then we'll also be showing how to increase, how to decrease, how to put your knit and purl stitches together in order to make a textured
That you
pattern.
don't make a big
and that
hole.
kind
That's
exactly.
my biggest problem. I've tried to do socks a couple of times, and you know, when you turn the heel, I always get a big old hole.
Oh yes.
Like how?
Oh
how do you
yes.
not do that? Are you gonna
Yes,
be covering stuff like
it's-
that, or that?
we
more intermediate?
are. We're going to also talk about how not to increase when you're not supposed to, because I find that that's probably what happens with a lot of beginner knitters. Is there is a particular mistake that is made at the beginning beginning of a lot of rows, and it ends up making you increase a lot on accident. And then suddenly, where you were having a rectangular project, it's now a triangle.
It's like, what's
and
happening?
It plays out. And so, so we're going to be talking about that. And you can see I've got my
What's
stuff
this little
here.
project you're
I
doing?
am working on a sleeve for a sweater that is actually for me.
And you're working in the round, I see.
I am working in the round, and that's a technique that's also going to be covered in the class. We will be talking about different kinds of needles and different weights of yarn, different kinds of yarn that are available out there on the market, so that you can be able to find the yarns that are going to work best for your project. And we're going to be talking about some of the technical things, and I'll be throwing in a lot of the jargon and the lingo that knitters use a lot, so that when people who are beginner knitters walk into a knitting circle, they'll be able to sound like they're a seasoned veteran. And that's what helps you to feel more comfortable and make you feel like you belong, when you actually know what people are saying.
Yeah.
Because anytime that you join a group, everybody's got their own jargon for anything.
Right.
You know, and so, and knitters are no different. We have jargon of our own as well, so it will be good to have some of those in your repertoire, so that you can be able to go in and sound like you know what you're talking about. So
that's very fun.
It will be an exciting class, and we'll talk about, and there will be some really good bonus material in there yet.
Oh, good.
So, and I'll keep that a surprise. Just know that there will be bonus material, and you want to have that.
And look at her just go like she's just talking. I know. And it's crazy. If you ever got that good, it would be like, I'd be dropping stitches all over the place. Like,
we'll be talking about how to pick up dropped stitches.
Yeah.
I'm using one strand right now. Yeah.
Right now.
Right now. It's because I'm knitting in the round. So eventually this will end up being a sleeve for a sweater that I will wear. I've got the body done up to about mid-chest, and I've got one other sleeve done, so this is the second sleeve. So this will be my sleeve.
So tell me so your favorite wool is merino. I love merino too.
I love merino so
the way
much.
It feels in your hands.
That is one of the best sheep wools. I love it.
Fantastic. But now alpaca. My mom used to raise alpacas.
Yes.
Yeah, did she tell you that?
I was hearing that from someone.
They weren't Surrey yet. She went now. So, but I don't think they were Surrey. But still, their wool or their
fiber.
The people were wanting it when she sheared them. They were like, "Oh, we'll take a bag of that."
Yeah.
So, I hear that it stretches. Does it stretch? Is it stretchy?
Fiber on an animal is a lot like human hair, where there is some amount of give on it, and like human hair, it also has scales on it, and so it acts somewhat like human hair in that it has some amount of give. But once you have started to spin it and you're working up the fiber, it has only a small amount, and then it has really terrific bounce back. It has very good memory. Animal fiber has great memory, so it will bounce back. Plant fiber does not have the same kind of memory. Once it stretches out, it stays that way. So you have to block it, which means, to get it wet and then set it back into a shape you want in order to get it back to where you want. So that's what makes it great. No, animal fiber is like hair. It has memory, so it goes back. If you have your hair parted on one side for years and years, your hair just automatically does it on its own. Your hair always parts on one side. And so it's the same. It has memory like that. So it bounces back nicely.
Yeah, fun.
Yes.
Well, it's really exciting. So, do you raise your own animals?
I do not. Okay. I do not. I live in the middle of the city, so I don't. I don't.
And you stop me.
It's worth it to me to go ahead and pay someone else who's been raising the animals to just buy their fiber from them.
So I know this is an interview about you, but I have to tell my sheep story.
Oh, tell. Okay. I would love to hear it.
So I'm a sculpture artist.
Yes.
And the hair I like to use animal hair, because it's the right scale. Did you get that? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so intrigued.
Oh, sorry.
Talking to her that
We're not ignoring you, really. Please chat with us online. We'd love to hear from you.
Itsy bitsy teeny weeny story. Yes, Sheila. Karen, do you? Oh. Oh, you're making me blush. I don't have my glasses. Okay, got it. I'm good. No, I don't know how. I'm not a very good host. Okay, so I gotta tell my sheep story. So I thought, you know, I'm buying this Tibetan lamb's hair for my figures, and I came across at a fiber fair. They had a little pen of beautiful Angora goats.
Yes.
And they're beautiful. They have these big spirals all the way to the ground.
Their locks are lovely.
I need one of these. And I love animals. I love goats. I have a couple of horses. I thought, how cool would it be to get my own Angora goat and use its hair? Plus, I'd have a fun little goat to play with. How cool would that be? So I found a breeder here in Utah, and I went to her farm and I bought myself an adorable 6-month-old Angora kid. And I bottle fed her, and I loved her, and she was just my baby. And every day I would feel, and at first her coat was very short, you know, and so soft. And I kept dreaming about it. Someday I'm gonna shear her, and this is gonna be my hair. And well, so she started to get bigger, and her coat started to get longer. Guess what a goat loves to do when they get outside?
Oh, they like to get into the mess.
They like to roll in the dirt.
Oh, yes.
That's the first thing it would do. It'd go right for the big dirt pile and lay down and just
then roll.
And roll. And I'm like, no! And you can't wash that kind of a coat. It's not like a dog. You can spray them off with a hose. Number one, they're very skittery. You know, it's not going to stand there while I hose it with the hose. And, you know, it takes forever to dry. So I'm like, how am I going to keep this thing clean? So I thought, well, I'll put her in the stall with my horse, and that will, you know, it's all shavings and, you know. Well, the horse didn't like her.
Oh, no.
She kept trying to play with the horse and, you know, with her
And the horse didn't want any of it.
The horse was like, I'm going to kick the, come here. And so I'm afraid the poor goat's going to get killed by my horse. So I had to take her out, so I put her in my tack shed. Well, now goats also like to climb. So she would climb up on my hay bales, and she would chew my saddle.
Oh, they'll chew everything.
Oh my God, it was like I would come in and it would look like a tornado came through, and just everything's pulled off. My saddle straps are all chewed up.
Oh no!
And she's in there going, bah! You know, as loud as she can because she's lonely.
Yes.
Only you can't just get one goat.
Oh no!
You know, they
need
her.
friends.
Yeah,
they need
I
friends.
didn't realize this, and she was so miserable. And I was miserable because when it came time to shear her, I had this dirty, thick, and then I started researching on how to clean it. Oh my God, people, you would not believe what it takes to clean the hair. You have to, first of all, you have to put it in a super hot bath of water because you need to get that natural pellicle off of the hair.
Yeah.
It almost needs to be boiling. So you put it in that, and then you have to rinse it. And rinse it again, and then wash it, and then rinse it again.
You're doing this several times.
It is so labor intensive that you would just, I don't know.
She's in the middle of a story.
I'm in the middle of a story.
And then she'll tell us our comments.
Then I promise I'll look again. So anyway, it's so labor intensive that I just was, after my first shear, I had all this bags of beautiful wool. I'm like, there is no way I'm gonna do this again. And the fact that I have this darling little sheep that is a royal pain in the ass. I'm not kidding. She was just like, I love her, but she was just so I ended up taking her to a farm where she had other goat friends, and she was so happy. I mean, she's kicking up. Yahoo! I got my friends.
Finally with some friends.
She didn't even look back and say, I'll miss you. She was just like,
see ya.
So that was my goat experience. I loved it, but if anyone's ever thinking, oh, I'm just going to get me some hair and do it myself, yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It is so much work.
Yes, so make sure that you know what you're doing. Ask lots of questions and learn what you can because it's important.
Karen Baker's
I know. As a spinner, I work with a lot of roving, and so I spin my own yarn, and I know a lot of work goes into preparing that wool. I've done some of it myself, which is why I know, that it's worth it to me to go ahead and buy it from someone who's already prepared it. So,
yeah.
So what are our comments? What have we got?
Let's see. Hey.
You need glasses?
Yeah, kind of. You did, but.
Oh, let's see. There we go. We've
When you distribute that.
Like she doesn't use Facebook the whole day.
Oh, it's just hard to control.
Oh. So we're having a party here tonight, and you get to hear from several of the instructors from here on Curious Mondo, and we get to do live interviews with them tonight. So Karen and I are both instructors here, and she is taking over as the hostess to ask all the questions for the interviews. So we're having lots of fun. What is this?
Are your creations ever for sale?
I have done work that is on commission, but mostly I just knit for fun, and then it ends up being given away as a gift, or it goes on one of my children or something like that. So most of my work is just, you know, it's something that I do because I enjoy the hobby, but I do some commission work.
That's awesome, but yeah, you need to start showing me that. Because this woman says she's unable to locate finished products.
She can't find your content, I guess.
My content?
Well, it says here she owns a scarf and a wrap, her favorite. However, she's unable to locate finished products. This is Olga. Olga Beads.
I think it is probably because in the knitting world, a lot of people, unless they are very active on, say, Etsy, or very involved with craft shows that travel around and will have their own booth, most knitters, I think you will find, do a lot of knitting just for themselves or for family or friends, and so it's usually something that was in just maybe their immediate social circle. So if you have a friend that knits, maybe put a tick in her ear saying, hey, I wouldn't mind having one of those, and then maybe you'll be the lucky dog that gets her next project when she's knitting something.
That's it, yeah.
Did you have?
Excellent.
Oh.
So, someone wanted to know what Diana, she wanted to know what my mom's name was. It's a really cool name. Her name is Rosalind. I don't know what she's going by her last name these days. She just got a divorce. So I don't know what she's doing. Who knows? Yeah, spreading out the dirty laundry. Dirty laundry.
So we'll skip the last name.
You loved my I last night? Thank you. Thank you.
Diana says Bree hi.
Bree is on. We always say hi.
Hi, Bree. Thanks for joining us again. We love having you as a regular. Everybody knows Bree.
Yeah, Bree's awesome. So
shout out to Bree.
Do you have an Etsy store?
No.
Oh, you don't?
No.
You should get one.
Apparently so.
How long does it take you to do a pair of socks?
Oh, I can do a pair of socks in a few days.
I hate you. Just kidding.
But then I'll put them on my own feet and I'll keep them.
3 months to do like. You put them on your what?
I'll put them on my own feet and I'll keep them.
Yeah, I mean, if you put so much work into them, it's
I know.
It would be hard to let them go.
I know.
Sheila says she's doing a lot of mini work at the moment.
Oh, I gotta scroll up. When a new comment comes, it scrolls all the way down.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
What's this?
You're lucky to have each other. That's probably you and your mom.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
How fantastic. I love mini.
She does mini.
Shelly Knight, itsy bitsy teeny weeny store.
Yeah. We're doing little paintings.
How have you done portraits? Who's she asking that to?
Must be you.
It could be my mom.
Oh,
She
yes, because
has
you said
done
she was
she has
the
done
artist.
portraits.
Yeah.
I do not do portraits. Nope.
I don't know. She has scooted off somewhere else in the studio,
Who's that?
so I don't know. We can't answer your question at the moment because she skittered off somewhere.
And then now, Karen, you're too cute to worry about whatever you were worried about.
Whatever it was.
No.
Yeah, whatever
Don't
your
worry.
Bye, Mom. I don't know.
She's gone.
Yeah, she was gone. That was all from Diana Notch. Diana Notch again. Will there be some on using charts? I know a lady that could not read and read the written pattern only charts, and I can't figure out how to use charts.
That's right.
Yes.
I tried to use charts too.
Yes. Part of the class will show about how to read a pattern. We'll be looking at written pattern and a very simple chart, simply because we have time constraints. You know, I can't teach until midnight.
Yeah.
And so even though I'm sure that you guys would be like, well, it doesn't matter, I'm up then. So, but I can't teach forever. So we will have some very simple charts, and I will show how to read from a chart and how to read a pattern, and we'll talk about some of the very common abbreviations that are used in patterns. So yes, we will do that.
Good, good. Because I know I've tried to figure it out. You know, yeah, I have to blow it up all big so I can see. But and you're counting each individual stitch, right? And it's like, okay, what does that dot mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Or sometimes they're numbered, are they? Or is it just dots?
Sometimes, well, what you will usually have is numbers that go along the bottom of the chart and up the side of the chart, so you know which stitch you're on and which row you're on.
Where's the little thing that goes like between the? Is it weaving, right? Is that what we're
No, knit.
No, we're doing knitting this time. Yeah, I had previously done a pin loom weaving class, and so then we were trying to learn about doing rows and how many strands you would go over or under in order to create a pattern on your weave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheila. It's 3 a.m. here.
Oh, well, then I guess we could. Who cares about midnight? Let's go to 3 a.m.
Bye, you guys.
Diana Nasha is stating that she's doing a lot of mini work right now.
Oh.
Yay! Well, you're my kind of gal.
Diana Nasha also says, thanks, Karen. I don't know what she could be possibly thanking you for.
Just say you're welcome.
Just kidding. Well, good. So now I have to see the class for knitting.
Yeah, we got to.
I would love to have you join us. The more, the merrier.
When are you doing that?
In a week and a half.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Do you live here?
I do. I live here in the Salt Lake Valley. I live over in the southern section of the Salt Lake Valley.
West
so
Valley?
I'm over in Sandy. So I'm here on the east side.
I came from Sandy.
Oh, good. So yeah.
I moved from Sandy to Tooele.
Oh, okay. So you went out to the west side. Yeah. So I'm over here on the east side.
Cool.
Wait, have you guys read this?
No, what's that one?
Continental knitting.
Explain.
I don't know.
Okay, continental knitting is where you are working with the yarn held in your left hand. Now, for those who are crocheters and have a lot of experience with crochet, you are probably very used to holding the yarn in your left hand. And so continental knitters, they do what is called picking in knitting circles, because they hold the yarn in their left hand, which allows you, when you have your needles in a stitch together, it allows you to pick the yarn because it's already present at the stitch. English knitting is the opposite of continental knitting. It's where you're holding the yarn in your right hand. And so it makes you have to throw your yarn around the needle. So there are pickers and there are throwers. And the pickers are the continental knitters, and the throwers are those who knit English style. And I'm sure it goes by several other names as well. Bye, Karen. We'll see you later. Thanks for helping interview. So we'll be talking about continental and English knitting, and we'll talk about various methods of how to hold the yarn in your hand in a way that you can find something that will feel comfortable and natural in your hand, because everybody does it differently.
All right.
Yeah.
So. Let me continue with the comments.
Oh yeah, see if there's anything else.
All right, so continental knitting, we just did that. Sarah, are you going to talk about how to keep the right tension? I've tried to knit before, and to get so tight I can't get the needle through.
Yes, we're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about various methods that you can use in order to loosen up your stitches, either with the needles that you are using and or with the way that you're holding your yarn. It may simply be a matter of needing to change the way that you hold your yarn. So I will show you different methods for doing that so that you can be able to make it easier, because when your stitches are too tight and they're choking the needle, it's hard to get your other knitting needle in there, and then it makes it difficult when you're coming back on the next row. So we'll talk about how to make it easier so that your stitches are all the same tension. Yeah.
It seems like a nuisance, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it can be when it's too tight, or if it's too loose, then you've got a whole bunch of loose stitches that are sticking out, and then the loops get caught easily. So,
Sandy, where are the bees in the studio?
Oh,
what?
It was a joke.
Oh, okay.
They were, when the beekeeper was sitting here, they were pretending to have bees attacking them in the back.
Oh, really?
So that's what.
I missed that. There's Albert the Bee Man.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he was really cool.
Very interesting. Very interesting
I
stuff.
did not record his class, but I feel like I got a lot of knowledge just by talking to him.
I know. He's just a fountain of knowledge. It's wonderful.
Knowledge.
He is.
Heron passed by. All right, so we're going to go back to Curious Mondo chat, see if anyone said anything.
Yeah, I'm ready to answer any questions, and then of course we will have live chat available during my class, which is in a week and a half. I will be doing Monday and Tuesday. I believe that is November 5th and 6th. I believe, I'm not looking at a calendar right now, but it's in a week and a half from now. So I hope that you'll come and you'll join us on that class. It'll be a lot of fun.
You should come join us because it's free when you come and just watch us. And then if you decide that you actually want to start doing the craft yourself, then by all means, go ahead and invest in yourself. We do have... so Diana Notch stated, I am still trying to learn the continental intention. So great covering all this good stuff.
Oh, yes. You're going to like this. I have been teaching for a long time, and so I have taught many different ways. I've taught continental, I've taught English, I've taught using the drop method. So we will be covering 3 different ways to be able to hold the yarn in order to make it work for your hands, because everybody is different. Aside from the fact that you've got some lefties and some righties, and so and you also have maybe problems with joints, arthritis, carpal tunnel, various issues. And so we're going to be discussing what you can do for that. You don't have to give up your knitting. You can still keep going. We will talk about different ways to do it.
I can just picture someone trying to knit and then pop, pop, pop.
I know. I know. Crack, crack, crack all the time. The only clicking you should be hearing is from your knitting needles.
Exactly.
So.
Go see a doctor.
Yes.
Hope to see you there then, Shayla. Yeah, she's going to come. Diana Notch is going to come.
Wonderful. I look forward to having you guys all there. I hope that when we do the live show that you'll be there on the online chat and talking to us the whole time that we're doing that, because that's what's really fun, is getting the online chat going so that I can, and also you can call as well. You can do online chat or you can call into the studio and I can answer questions, and we love your comments. So we would really love to hear what you have to say. I will also let you know that there is going to be some really great bonus material for this class. On my last class, I only had 1 bonus material, and this one is going to have more than 1, so you don't want to miss out on that. So you'll definitely want to get this class so that you can have the bonus material that will go with it as well. And I hope to see you all there at the class in a week and a half. Thank you.
Oh, Shelly Nice says, I need a beginning crochet class.
Oh, well then, I guess we better put a tick in Shahar's ear that we want to have a beginning crochet class. That's one of the important things here at Curious Mondo, is we want to hear from the students out there. We want to hear from our audience. What do you want for classes? Because that's how the studio knows what kind of classes to prepare and honestly, what everybody's wanting out there. So let us know.
You should let me know in the chat right now, and I will go get a piece of paper and write down
we'll
what you guys would like
keep a list. And trust me, we can get fiber artists to teach whatever you're wanting to have. Oh, here's a lady in charge. She can make it happen for us. So,
don't trip.
Don't fall over. So I look forward to seeing you all in a week and a half, and I hope to see you here at Curious Mondo. Thanks. All right.
All right. So we have some new people arriving here. We had, let's see, Deanna Baugh just arrived at the party. She does a lot of the weaving classes, I'm sure you'll see. She is grabbing some food right now. You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna put the camera on the food table.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that's where everyone is. We have like the one shot, there's no one there because everyone's at the food table.
I feel you. We could. Should I do that camera? The one that's pointing? No, honestly, another one. Maybe the top one, huh?
Whichever one do you want to do?
All right.
Yeah, how about the top one?
Do you want to write down their ideas?
I will wait until you come back and you can write them down.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so come say goodbye, Karen. Come on, don't leave without saying goodbye. All right, so let's see. So microphone.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to interview you or anything.
Okay, because they've all, you all know who I am.
No, you know.
All my secrets.
Sarah, just so you know, Sandy said you are a wonderful teacher. Whoa. Yes. Oh, she's coming back.
Sandy.
Oh, and Bree said, love the pin loom class. Oh, you know what? Bree is wonderful. We love Bree.
We love Bree.
Bree
We love Bree. We love Bree. We love Bree. We love Bree. E-R-I.
By the way, Sandy is waving back at us. And Artem is really putting the camera on the food table. Now everyone leaves all of a sudden. Yeah, no, keep do it. Okay, Bree said, oh my god, LOL. Oh, check it out. Diana said she would love more on needle felting.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, me too. I just started needle felting.
I don't know. Food shots are hard, huh? Oh, there we go. Deanna, did you try the beef? I hear it's amazing.
It was amazing.
Yes.
Like, wow.
Shilin did that. It's like aged beef. I don't know, the whole thing.
Did you try it? You don't do
Yes.
beef. Oh.
Yeah. Do I look like I don't do
Whatever.
beef? All right. Let's see. Well, if you have questions and comments.
Now's the time to ask.
Yes, we've got Karen Baker in the house.
I'm only here for about 10 more minutes and I turn into a pumpkin. So.
All right, Shahar, I think you need to make an appearance.
Shahar. Yeah. I left it off.
I think you need to make another appearance.
Come on in. Woo.
Artem, rule number 3, no
Artem.
falling.
Artemis. That's what I call him.
Sandy said we need to share the recipe. Shalene
likes it.
left. She's the one who did. And I think it's like a cooked in bourbon or something like that. The beef.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shalene has a show every. What day is it today? Wednesday. She has a show every Wednesday at 3 o'clock Mountain Time. That's 5. And you can tune in and ask about. She does all kinds of fun crafts, but you can tune in and ask about her recipes. She loves talking about that.
Cool.
Oh, Charlotte just joined us, Deanna. I'm sure Charlotte wants to hear from you. So come on over.
Come on back.
Oh,
Yep. I'm gonna say goodbye, okay?
Karen is feeling a little out of place
I don't
right
know
now.
why I mic'd up.
No, you stay.
Come on. You interviewed Deanna.
Oh my god. Just when I was out, they pull me back in.
Out of a class, I feel awful.
Don't feel bad. This is what they do.
Yeah, this is what they do to us.
So have a seat.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
No, it's all good.
No.
Don't drop your food.
They love hearing from you, Deanna. They love you.
Oh, and I love seeing what they do.
Exactly. Say hi to Charlotte. Oh, Charlotte said hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes. All right.
So where are you going?
Do you want to interview Karen so she can get off the hook?
Yeah.
I mean, interview Deanna so Karen can get off the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm eating.
And wait, right next to yourself there.
On camera.
Oh, I can put it in my mouth then. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
So is this live all the time? Is this like just streaming?
Yeah, we've been streaming the whole time.
How do
Yeah.
you think these comments are coming
I
through?
don't know.
I'm gonna switch you. You hold this.
Okay.
Here, I'll hold so you can get out.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So, let's see. Yeah, we've got folks watching. Okay. Bree says LOL.
Here you go.
Nice job
There you
with the
go.
trash can.
Oh, excellent.
There you go.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Thank you, Karen. All right.
All right.
So we're really going to do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I just stop in after my class to say hi, and you throw me out here. Perfect.
I'm gonna quickly just write down some of their ideas for classes, and then we'll.
Oh,
Later. Interview her now.
We
She
love
stays
classes.
there forever.
Okay, you got a point.
Yeah, here.
I guess I don't need it.
If you think of questions for Deanna, you can write it down.
Okay, all right.
questions.
So Diana, what do you do? What are some of the classes you've done here?
Oh, I've done the weaving classes with
I
the
do remember
rigid
that.
pedal and the 4-harness loom.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah,
I remember the
it was
pedals,
great.
right? And then the things like keep going
Yes,
up and down.
up and down and up and down. And I've spent the past 3 days down in Las Vegas taking from a fancier teacher than me.
Oh, really?
So I can learn new things too.
What are some of the interesting things you learned?
Well,
that
we
you
were
wanna
going
implement?
into very elaborate patterns that go into big harness looms.
Mm-hmm.
So here I was weaving on 4 harness and 8 harness. There I was weaving on 8 harness, trying to apply it to 16.
Oh gosh, 16 seems big.
Yes, big. My 16 is like a piano.
Oh really?
Great big.
I think, didn't you bring it?
No, that was my little.
Oh really? That thing was big. For being little, that thing was big.
It was. It really.
What got you into looming?
I first saw when I was in college somebody finishing their weaving pieces at the end of the quarter. And I was just enthralled with it and said, where did you do that? And I've been taking classes ever since. And I can back up kind of to high school.
Okay.
And I remember stopping to pick a friend of a friend up, and her mother had a loom.
Okay.
And they had to drag me away from it.
Oh really?
So yeah, I've been doing it for a long time.
Just got really interested.
Yes.
What stands out about looming than other fabric designing?
Well, I can make a fabric just exactly what I want. So
They
I
are
can-
intricate. You have so many lines that
Yeah,
you go
you've got all
between.
those little threads interlacing, and all of the possibilities of how they can interlace is endless. And so it's something that I can continue to do forever and ever and just keep learning more.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an overnight thing.
As you stated, you went to Reno, was it? Or Vegas?
This week it was Vegas.
Vegas.
Last July it was Reno that I went
perfect.
to another one.
So Vegas, yeah, you did state that even though you have been looming for quite some time,
Yes.
you still learn new things.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what makes it fun.
Do you think we're gonna have another class of looming?
Oh, I've been thinking about it, and I've been getting so bogged down with the other stuff I'm doing that I want to just have a fun class and have us all make up a new towel or a new design.
Okay,
That sounds
that'd
like
be cool.
fun.
I feel like we need an intricate class next, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I will just be sitting there. What I want to do is have all of you weaving along with me so that we just come up with something really a lot of fun.
I think it'd be awesome. Let me look at comments really quick. Go ahead, share your comments if you have any.
Everybody's just going crazy watching all this weirdo stuff going on.
Oh, I know. Honestly, like it's getting emptier. There was so many people at one point.
That's fantastic.
Needle felting.
Well, Shahar does fantastic needle felting.
Yeah, I know.
Do a lot of things with it.
Yeah, we actually might just talk to Shahar about needle felting. Maybe she will do another class.
Yeah. I took a class in needle felting, and everybody was making cute little sheep. I ended up with a worm. Somehow mine
sorry.
just didn't come out the way it was
That's so terrible.
I just kept looking at it going, what's wrong with me?
It happens to me when I'm working with clay. I'm like, I'm gonna make a snake. It's a worm.
Yeah. Well, I went from a sheep to a worm, so you know how much work I need to get on
I get
with
you.
it.
Yeah, it's quite a.
It took me a while before I got something recognizable.
Do you ever mix anything like felting with your?
I do, actually. I've done things where I've woven a fabric and then needle felted something onto it to add another layer of design. All of my...
It gives it more dimension too,
Yeah.
right?
And all of the techniques that I do, you know, bobbin lace and sewing and all of these things, how can we bring a little of what we already have into what we're doing with the weaving? So bringing those skills in, or some of the tools, so that you can do something just a little bit more and a little more fun. It's all. That's why seeing the things that people are displaying that they did, because of all of their other history, they're bringing all of that in, and so they bring do something all totally new and surprising to me.
I understand completely. It's compacting knowledge and then using it in different categories. I remember I was in an art class with my sisters. They're like 10-ish, you know what I mean? And then the guy was doing layers, dimensions, how you could see the shadows and making sure that it actually looks 3D. And I was just thinking, since I know about maps a little bit, this is just like drawing a map. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. The nose is like a mountain.
And you're bringing all that knowledge in, and how can you incorporate that to make this product, this new exciting thing you're making, even that much better?
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was really cool to have education in another background, but understand something else because it connected.
Yeah. Well, and you look at history. Who came up with the machine to do this? Somebody that had nothing to do with that skill, but looked at it from the outside and can see what it needed.
I like that.
Yeah, I think of Whitney that made the cotton gin. He knew nothing about spinning cotton or doing cotton, but with the background he had, he can see another way around it to make this machine that would do what they needed to.
I see.
So bringing that in from somewhere else is so cool.
That's really creative. Diana Notch says, yes, Shahar, we want you to do another needle felting class.
Oh, yeah.
I'll talk to her about it later on.
Definitely. Yes, I didn't get to do the other one, so I definitely want to do one with her. Actually, I guess I should just buy it, and then I could do it whenever I want.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Yes, you've got all those other things to look at, so you can see that. Well, I was really thrilled that I got to stop in here for a little while.
I'm really happy you did too.
Because she said 6:30, and I said, oh, fantastic. And then I realized, I have to teach a class from 6 to 8. So on the way home, I thought, let's just stop by and see if there's somebody still there. So I was really pleased.
There's quite a bit of comments. Let me just get up to where I needed to. All right, so they say hi, Diana, from Sandy Ward.
Oh, hello.
Vicky Bloom says, well, that sounds like fun, Diana. Charlotte Desroches says, just finished weaving croc bragd for a purse.
Croc brad.
Croc brad.
Yes. It's a Norwegian rug technique. Makes a nice thick fabric, so it's perfect for a bag.
Okay. So because you're carrying a lot of weight.
Yes. And really, really cool color designs.
Okay, I see that.
So excellent.
And then she also said double heddles on my rigid heddle loom.
Oh yeah, that's moving up to the next level.
Ooh,
really cool.
Good job.
Excellent job.
That means you're more advanced. Laura Buckless says, I learned a ton from her class and I have a BFA in weaving. What is a BFA?
Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Oh, Bachelor's of Fine Arts. I'm sorry.
So if you've got that background and you can still pick up a few cool things from me, that's what I want to do, is give you all of my tricks that I've learned, and maybe one of them is going to be just right for you.
Yeah, I feel you. I think the whole point of humanity, in a sense, is just to benefit each other, because no one wants to be alone. If you're not benefiting someone, then you're just going to be alone. You know what I mean?
And and heaven knows I want to make more weavers. Always want to make more weavers.
I honestly don't know a weaver besides you.
Well, I'm going to have to do something about that.
Exactly. You're going to have to start teaching more classes.
Well, when I was in Reno, and there was a woman that had the same first name as me.
Yeah.
So there aren't that many Deannas, and so I went up and introduced myself to her. And she kept giving me an odd look, and I thought, should I have not come up to this woman? And finally she goes, Curious Mondo!
Oh, no way!
Yeah. She was trying to place, where have I seen you, lady?
That was a face. That was a weird face. That's awesome.
So I was so excited. Yes, that's me.
That made me really happy, honestly.
Yeah, I was really
Oh,
excited.
Shahar was stating she had a few interactions like that. So, like, that's really inspiring. That makes me feel like I'm doing something right.
Yeah, there are those great people out here just loving the fact that this is here. It's doing what we need.
What someone else stated, we had classes on the side of our classes today, yesterday, and the day before.
Yes.
You heard about that, right?
Yes.
So, I don't remember where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought. But
too many things happening.
I know, right? But Bree Tress says, Diana, I enjoy your classes. Amazing what you make. Is it Deanna or Diana?
Deanna.
Deanna, sorry about that.
Yeah.
My sheep turned into a dog.
Oh, yes, I've done that. I did little rows of sheeps, and I did little Scotty dogs.
That's so cool.
People would say, "Why did you do the dog?" And I just looked at him and said, "No, really, that's a sheep. Believe me, it's a sheep." But yeah, for anybody out there that's doing the weaving, if
she said she made a Dalmatian.
Oh. That's a little more skill than I have.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Black and white pattern.
Yes.
What were you going to say before I interrupted?
Anybody that wants to do something fun in weaving, all you have to do is tell these guys, and we will get something set up for you.
Honestly, go ahead. Like, we are always trying to find new things to shoot.
Always. And that's what I've been thinking about, too. What do I want to do? What does somebody else want me to show them? So that we can do all of that.
Charlotte Disroches says, I'm addicted to krokbrag. I can't say that. I don't know how to say it.
Well, it's Norwegian. You can do so many patterns with that. Although I didn't take the class, my local Weavers Guild here just had Tom Nisley come and teach a class in the krokbrag. And they got some beautiful people. Oh, yes.
Have you done it yet?
Not here.
Do you think that could be a class?
It could be, and to go through all those fun patternings that you can do. The colors are just fun, and it's very simple to set up, which is even better.
Should I write it down?
Yes. See what they want.
Yeah, we're gonna write it down, and then we're gonna discuss, and then have a future class, maybe.
That's what we want to do. Get the classes they want to have.
I think so too. I think you are more inclined to learn about what you want than what is just brought before you.
Oh yes. Yeah, and I've gone through basics, beginning with the warping, which of course I would like to reinforce, but I want to see what people want to do. Make something exciting for them.
So someone said they want a class for spinning cotton or flax. See, it was Sandy Ward.
Oh, cotton and flax. Yeah, very distinctly different than spinning with the wool.
Yeah? You can't do that, can you? The spinning cotton and flax?
Can.
Sweet.
That's Deanna's problem. She wants to learn everything.
That's not a problem at all.
I end up doing everything instead of becoming really, really good at one thing. I just do it all. Occasionally I'll do something and find, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. And that's good, because I can cut that off my list, and then I have more time to do the ones I like.
That's true. You either debate about what you might want to do, or you could just do and then find out that maybe it wasn't for you. But if it was, you at least found out.
Yes, exactly.
So I agree 100%.
So we try these things to find out what's going to work.
Bree Tree says, small world. Oh, thank you for the spelling, Charlotte.
It's really I got it down. Odd spelling.
Sandy Ward says, yes, that would be great to learn croc. I'm not even going to try to say it. Also, rag rugs. Rag rugs would be fun.
Oh, rag rugs are interesting, but...
Are they hard?
No, but so many people just do these randomy rag rugs, and I don't like that. Mine have to have a pattern to them, color pattern or something.
I think that would be more eye-appealing anyway.
Yeah, these hit and miss, they're not exciting for me. I have to see a gorgeous pattern, and Scandinavians do some really gorgeous rag rugs. I've done a number of rag rugs that using their patterns.
What's your favorite culture's patterns? What culture has really good patterns?
I probably do a lot more Scandinavian.
Yeah.
But I think it's because they never lost their tradition. They kept it going all the time.
So they kept advancing,
Yeah.
updating it, evolving it.
Yeah, where the rest of us, as soon as the Industrial Revolution came, we quit doing it.
Okay, that makes sense. We're like, oh, we're just gonna go buy it at the store.
Exactly. How much easier to buy the fabric for your new dress than have to weave the whole thing.
Exactly, and it's probably
Yeah.
more cost effective for people.
Yeah, and so now we don't have to do it. We do it because we like to do it. And we get some really fun things.
Laura Buckles? Okay, Laura Buckles says class on weaving and rayon Chanel.
Oh,
With
rayon
Ryan Chanel.
Chanel?
Who's Ryan Chanel?
Rayon.
Rayon.
It's a type of fiber, and chenille is a type of yarn that has little fuzzies in it.
Oh, I see. I thought it was a person.
No, it's a yarn that you have to use carefully because it doesn't work in all things. But when I've done scarves in it, it comes off the loom and feels kind of stiff. And then you spray a little water on it and throw it into the dryer, and it comes out and it's just like liquid velvet. Just really fantastic.
I'm currently writing down your guys' ideas.
He's so busy trying to write down and keep things talking too.
Oh, someone, let me look. So Lauren Buckles, she's asking, like, are you able to use different kinds of yarn in one project?
Oh, yes. Yeah, you kind of got to
Oh, she's saying make a class about it. She wasn't asking, but...
mixed warps, yes. I did a little bit with mixed warps in one of the classes, and after I'd threaded the whole loom up...
Do you remember which one it was?
No, don't talk to me about remembering things. But it was funny because I put all these different yarns in, and then when I started looking at it, I didn't like a lot of them.
Oh, really?
So I ended up clipping them all out and putting new yarns in.
I see.
So you can play with doing that a lot, and that is really a lot of fun. But yeah, we did.
Go on.
I think we did mixed warp in the rigid heddle class.
We might have.
Yeah.
I don't remember the yarn we used, to be honest.
Yeah.
How about silk? Have you ever tried with silk?
Yes.
How's that?
Really, really fun, but it's so expensive.
I bet.
You worry.
I bet. You worry?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, if I make a mistake with a cotton yarn that's $16 a pound, I don't feel too bad if I waste it. If I make a mistake with silk at $200 a pound, then I feel really bad.
That makes a lot of sense, honestly. Like, I would feel like, I don't know, I would feel bad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but it does. It takes dye beautifully. It has that wonderful, subtle sheen because of the construction of it. It's just extruded out of a silkworm.
Okay, yeah.
So it's one continuous fiber, and it's triangular in shape.
Really?
Really, really tiny, though. So it reflects light, like prisms.
Oh.
Although, of course, very, very tiny and very subtle.
I know it feels a lot different
Yeah.
compared to, like, everything.
Yes. Yeah, it's magical.
Right here we have... I read this, kind of opened my mouth. I didn't know this existed, but Sandy Ward mentioned eyelash yarn.
Oh, so that's a yarn that has little fuzzy bits sticking out.
Okay.
So you have to use it carefully so you don't squish down all of the fuzzies. You want them to pop out and show.
Okay.
So it's another one of those unusual yarns and mixed warp yarns. You have somebody to come here?
You want to stop for a snack?
I need to stop. You need to find some new body. He's getting lots of good ideas too, though.
Yeah, honestly, like they're really interested in more weaving classes.
Yeah,
well, of course.
Good, I'm glad.
There's lots of possibilities in
And
weaving.
Deanna is awesome.
Deanna is awesome so far.
All right, Artem, so you're going to interview now
Let's hear
Tony.
it.
I think you'll like Tony.
Tony?
Because he is a hypnotist.
Oh, no way.
He talks about hypnosis, and he is awesome.
Oh.
And he taught a course here at Curious Mondo.
That sounds fantastic.
So let me snag him.
Okay, that would be awesome.
Bring him over. That sounds
so
fantastic.
we're about to talk to a hypnotist.
That sounds good. Maybe he'll do something nice to you.
Maybe. Who knows?
All right.
But hey, anyway, thank you for your time.
Oh,
You
love
were-
being here.
Let me get that chair so I have a stool to put my computer.
Okay. So do we need this one taken off here?
There we go. Off the hook.
You get to just sit here and talk.
Have a seat over here. Here.
Okay, we're trading sides. He had this one all warmed up.
Yeah.
Oh well, the concern is I just want something to put the computer on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just clip that on so they can hear you. We've got folks watching at home. So you guys might remember Tony from when he taught the hypnosis course here at Curious Mondo. Was it maybe 2 years ago?
When you first started.
Way in the beginning.
Yeah.
And he's fantastic. So take it up. Take
Yeah,
it
let's
away,
do it.
Artem.
Where am I focusing?
This is your
Yeah, the camera
Okay,
right there.
okay.
There's only
Just
only
on
one.
him, and then
Okay.
our Mondo makers at home will ask you questions, and Artem will ask you questions.
Okay.
All right. So, tell me about hypnosis. Like, what is that about? Like,
Hypnosis is a way to communicate with your subconscious mind, which is the part of you that actually runs you 90% of the time.
they say don't let your mind control you, control your mind.
But your subconscious mind is the part that we train to control. When you drove here, how much of the drive do you remember right now?
Oh, it was all subconscious.
Yeah, because it's automatic. It's safe. It doesn't like change. It's a piece of your mind.
Oh,
that's just
Shahar stated that the brain does not like thinking.
okay.
Does
The
that
brain
kinda go
does
along
not
with
like
what you were
thinking. Possibly. The conscious mind likes to think. The subconscious mind likes to keep everything the same and just function. It actually responds. A recent science survey showed that you actually react 7 seconds before you think.
Oh,
That's
really?
your subconscious mind making decisions. I mean, I could emphasize it by tossing you my phone, but you might bat it away.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
But again, you'd respond before you think about it.
Fight or flight, basically, right?
Some fight or flight is one of the states you go
That would
into.
be fight. If I hit your phone, that would be fight, right?
But it's a reaction, and it's a reaction that's done on an
Fight or flight is a
autonomic. It is, but fight or flight is a state of mind. It's a preparation to either run, fight, or freeze. And when you're in that state, your body actually has a lot of changes that occur. In fight, flight, or freeze, or if you're anxious or stressed, your body can't heal, you can't digest. So a lot of the problems we have in life are caused because we're in that state too often. We don't take time out to learn to relax. A lot of people,
Self-care, right?
yeah, a lot of people have started doing meditation and entering trance in a lot of different ways, taking drugs, whatever it is, so that they can actually calm down. By learning to do hypnosis, you can do the same thing, and it doesn't take as long.
So so hypnosis? Whenever I hear hypnosis, I always feel like people try fooling. Is that a misconception?
Stage hypnosis is one of the things we see a lot of. Television demonstrates a lot of things that are a little bit true. I'm not going to say they're not totally true.
Manipulation in a sense.
But I can't make you do anything you wouldn't want to do, any more than a salesman can actually make you buy something you don't want to buy.
So let me tell you this. I'm actually mastering psychology.
Okay. And I have a degree in psych, and
Yeah,
the difference is, again, I still can't make you do something.
And I agree with that.
If I can get you to accept on a subconscious level that what we want to accomplish is what you want, then change will occur. Have you ever tried to break a habit that you've been in?
I have.
Okay, it's really difficult to break a habit because your subconscious mind believes that whatever it's learned is in your best interest.
Yeah.
And if it learned it in a highly charged emotional state, it really hangs on to that belief. So the only place to change it is at the subconscious level. Now you can do it. I mean, you can do positive affirmations, right?
Yeah, I love
positive affirmations, 10,000, 100,000 repetitions, you start to have an effect. Do you have a positive affirmation that you like?
I do. Whenever I feel a little, whenever, I don't know, it's just something weird that I say to myself, but I always say, wherever I am at this moment, I am in the center of my reality. And that kind of grounds me. Does that kind of make sense?
So I'm in the center of my reality wherever I am.
And then
That's
I
a positive
I look around.
affirmation.
I look around and I'm like, you know what? I actually am in the center of my reality. I might not be in the center of reality, but I'm in the center of mine.
But yours is the only one that matters.
Yeah.
But a positive affirmation is a statement that takes multiple repetitions to sink in. If you want to activate your subconscious mind to help you make the change it to why.
Okay.
Why am I the center of my reality at this point in time?
As I stated, it grounds me. It makes me feel more here rather than in here.
But the minute you start looking for the answer, your subconscious mind is now active, and it's 10 times more effective than a positive affirmation.
Okay, I like that.
So
one of the key ways of memorizing something is repetition.
it is, and it's a way to create change.
Yeah.
But again, we can speed it up by entering the subconscious mind and bypassing the critical factor.
So you said you studied psychology, right? So from your experience, what is one of your favorite resources?
The internet.
Just from my own personal benefit, I guess.
There are so many sources out there. There's Psychology Today. There's so many other places you can look. But a lot of it is, I read excessively, okay? So there's not a lack. There's a lot of books, a lot of resources. There's so much information, but it's not just in the US. The UK, England has a lot of information, especially when it comes to hypnosis. The US is way behind the learning curve. It kind of fell into a bad way, quite frankly, after Freud, because Freud tried to use hypnosis and he wasn't really good at it. And because he wasn't good at it, he developed another theory. He had a voice that would crack.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do something when your voice is your primary method if it's not effective. And you just finished your psych courses? Relatively recently, I'm assuming?
I would say I've been studying psychology for the past 5 years.
Okay. Most of what Freud put out there, the id, the ego, and everything else has been disproven. So, but they were good theories. They worked within what he did.
Yeah, sure.
Psychoanalysis works. Takes 600 sessions to get a 33% success rate.
Let me tell you this. I've not gone to school for it. I self-study.
Okay.
For a
it works.
Like you self-read, right?
Sure.
It's a hobby.
Yeah, it works.
So that's one of my hobbies.
But so you know that psychoanalysis works, but it takes a lot of sessions to make results.
It does. I call it inception in the sense. Oh, inception, the concept of it is making someone think it's their idea, so then they act upon the action more. That's kind of a way to influence
and acceptance,
someone.
Sure. And then if you go into behavioral talk therapy, it's more effective than psychoanalysis. It takes 24 sessions. It gets about a 70% success rate. That's actually pretty good.
So you see me, I'm doing this right now, right?
Sure.
I'm wobbling my foot. What is that a sign of?
You know what? You've learned to take and pace energy in a manner that works for you. Okay. I twiddle my thumb, so you know it's.
I see.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's something that is not intimidating that your teachers wouldn't yell at you for. My guess is in school you were so active they wanted you to sit still all the time.
Yeah, it's hard for me to sit still. I nonstop. You know what I mean? If I'm sitting.
Sure, and that's okay.
Yeah. Sure.
But again, we learn coping mechanisms to make things happen.
I do want to see if we have any comments.
Sure.
I do think you're interesting, Tony. Tony, right? I would like to learn from you more by myself. Let me go up. I learned a lot. I saw Tony's class. Oh, Beatrice. Yeah, it says I saw Tony's class.
Oh, good.
All right, let me look. I learned a lot. Yeah, she said she learned a lot. That's awesome. I like the idea of why. Sandy Ward likes the idea of why. And I think that's one of the things that I do when I talk with people. I'm always like, what are your intentions with this situation? Does that kind of make sense?
Sure.
So I feel like through their intentions, I can make win-win situations, and we just both,
Yeah, as long as you're both on the same page and going towards the same goal.
If you know what I want and I know what you want, we will exchange what we need.
Beneficial ideas.
Exactly. What is behavioral talk therapy?
Behavioral talk therapy is most of what psychiatrists and social workers do today. What they do is they sit you down, put you in a chair, and they try and talk you back to discover whatever caused the problem that you're having.
Because trauma is one of the ways of memorizing, engraving in your head.
Trauma is a very emotional response, or pain are great ways to get directly into the subconscious mind. The first hypnotist you ever dealt with was your mother.
I can see that.
I guarantee
100%.
that, whether she knew it or not, because she was the one who was there. She's the one who supplied nurture when you needed it. She's the one who screamed and yelled at you when you went to touch things you weren't supposed to touch.
I think through repetition, she just knows what works at this point.
Sure, after time. So mom's the first hypnotist. From there, it's a matter of choosing. As we develop more discerning abilities, we need to choose what goes into our minds. Most people positively program themselves in a negative way. They talk about what they don't want. And the one thing you have to remember is the subconscious mind is not verbal. It is actually pictorial and emotional. So it doesn't...
Your subconscious one, right?
Your subconscious mind.
Okay.
Your subconscious mind is pictures and feelings. So telling it not to do something doesn't work. For instance, don't think of a lavender alligator. In fact, don't think of a lavender alligator with bright red toenails and a black tongue.
I'm trying to on purpose think about it.
You can't not think about it. You have to think about it before you can dismiss the thought.
Okay.
So the idea is when you deal with your subconscious mind, you want to deal with what you do want, not what you don't want. Because it doesn't know the difference. It has to create the picture, the image, before it can go there. And there's no circle, there's no line through it.
What are your thoughts on the law of attraction?
The law of attraction works because it's whatever you focus on, whatever you keep at the front of your mind. But again, you can't focus on what you don't want. You have to know what it is you want to bring in. That's what you're going to bring in. Because again, the subconscious mind doesn't see a circle and a no. Did you ever buy a new car for yourself?
I have not.
You never bought a brand new car for, not brand new, but new for you?
I have not, no.
Okay. You ever bought anything new for you? Something that everybody else has?
In the past.
Okay. So before you bought the new pair of shoes for you, there weren't many of them on people's feet. I guarantee it. The minute you bought them, you started seeing them all around you.
Awareness. It heightened your awareness.
Well, your subconscious mind is aware all the time. It sees 20,000 bits of information per second.
I remember, have you ever seen Sherlock Holmes?
Some. Mm-hmm.
There was a moment where he's dancing with a female, and they're on a mission. And then she states, what do you see? And he's like, everything.
Mm-hmm. He does. The subconscious mind sees it all. The conscious mind does 7 to 10 bits of information. The reason you weren't seeing all those shoes before, your subconscious mind didn't think it was important. You hadn't made it important. Once it realized it was important, there they are. They're going to be everywhere. So you have to be careful what you're looking for, because if you want an opportunity in life, if you want a good opportunity, that's what you have to program your subconscious mind to see.
I have a quote for that.
Yeah.
A man that wants nothing gets it every time.
Sure. Sure. Actually, he may get a lot of negative things if he doesn't know what he wants.
Exactly. I think we as humans sometimes don't progress because we're so in debate about what we want, we can't decide. So we just sit in indecision without an actual decision.
We're not willing to voice what we want for fear of ridicule or comments. We're not willing to express what we feel. Your feelings, your desires are all 100% yours, and nobody else has any right to tell you they're wrong.
I agree. I agree.
So as long as you bear that in mind, it doesn't mean that what I want is what you want. It doesn't mean that
different than yours. That's
it is. All reality is different. Reality is based on perception and belief. And my perceptions and my beliefs are definitely different than yours. I come from a totally different culture and time frame than you do. So with that in mind, there's no way what we see, hear, and experience is going to be the same.
I agree. I agree 100%. Let me look at more comments really quick.
Did we answer her question?
About social behavior, or what was it?
Yep.
Let me look. I learned a lot. That's awesome. Behavioral talk therapy. Did we answer your question for behavioral talk therapy? Oh, I wonder what they're looking at.
Not sure who asked. But again, with hypnosis, we can do behavioral talk therapy. It can be a piece of it. I don't normally. Normally with hypnosis, I'm doing more of a change and effect. I don't need to know why you have the problem. Just like if you broke your leg, you don't need to know why you broke it. It's broke, it's healed now, so do you really need to dwell on it?
I heard this thing. It stated the reason doctors don't get sick is because they're always thinking about how everyone else is sick, but never how they're sick.
Maybe. Some doctors get sick.
I bet, no, for sure. I agree with that. But like
they're exposed to a lot of things, again, but they take care of themselves, and they focus on the things that are necessary for good health. They don't focus on, and one of them is stress. Not necessarily, again, but they're more focused in the right things.
Okay.
They're focused on what's necessary to be healthy.
Concentrated thought, in a sense, right?
Sure, and action.
So, Dolores, I'm sorry if I said it wrong.
It's Dolores, yeah.
Dolores Coper said, I noticed that foot moving. I thought anxiety.
It's not anxiety, it's just nervous energy.
I think it's...
I mean, you can call it stress. We can give it a label, but the reality is to be anxious means to be afraid, to be in a state of fight or flight. Okay. It may be a small symptom of it, but for you, I can guarantee that what it is it's a learned behavior so you can sit in that chair and not be up and fidget.
Without it's feeling too like.
Yeah. And see, what'll happen is if you keep getting it focused, your feet will go down. You'll still twidge it, but it'll be below camera.
Yeah, for sure. I have a problem with being impatient.
That's okay.
I do. I am self-aware of that. Will he be on?
And then
again?
if
Will
you'll
he do another
change,
class?
possibly, we've been talking about doing another one. What would they like to see it on?
Oh yeah, what would you like to see the class on? Let us know in the comments, and I will write it down. I have a notebook. Oh, you can't see me right now. Yeah, you can. A little bottom screen. Oh, right there. See, I got a piece of paper. I will write down your thoughts and ideas on what would be beneficial to you to learn. What's your favorite book on psychology?
My favorite book is Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich.
Okay, I read that one recently.
Yeah.
That's where I got the decision thing from.
There's a lot in there. Actually, Napoleon Hill was not the first one to make most of those claims. He was the first one to get credit for it, to put it into a standard format.
My brother told me this, and I thought he was like 100% right. Everything that you've done has already been done.
A lot of things have been done, because think about what's come about in the last 100 years.
Yeah,
Television's only 50 years old as far as cell phones.
And television was
20
made
years.
in 2 places in the world at that time, right?
Right.
From what I remember.
Farnsworth was here in Utah, one of the first peoples to develop it. I mean, there were so many things that were done simultaneously. But again, the last 100 years, we've seen tremendous changes. So it couldn't have been done before. I can guarantee you cavemen didn't do physics, calculus, and trigonometry.
They probably did 1 apple equals 2 apples if I slice it.
Maybe, sure, and it's sauce if I crush it. But,
exactly.
But, again, new thoughts are out there, new possibilities. I'm not going to limit the abilities of the mind, but a lot of the concepts we deal with human nature aren't new. They date back to primitive times. Hypnosis dates back to the Egyptians and the Greeks with sleep temples. So it's not new either.
Well, I think hypnosis is just me talking to you. It doesn't necessarily have to...
It can be.
Yeah.
But see, that's why talk therapy is not as effective as hypnosis, and it's why psychoanalysis is not as effective as talk therapy.
Hypnosis is more concentrated, right?
It's directed to the subconscious mind, and it's an active thing. It's an active communication with your subconscious mind. Meditation is a deliberate attempt to listen to the subconscious mind and to ignore the distractions. So with meditation, you can do a lot of things. People who've studied meditation can slow down aging, they can heal, and in 30 years you can do what we can do in hypnosis in 6 sessions. So
well, Tony, thank you for your time.
Yep.
I will see if they did want another class on it, but I'm going to take a little break.
Sounds good. Thank you for the interview. It's wonderful to be here, even though I didn't plan on this. So
Dolores says, now I know why my husband does that. I don't know exactly what she's referring to, but let me look on the other thing if we have any more questions really quick. All right, sweet, perfect. So we are going to take maybe a 5-minute, 10-minute break, maybe end soon, I'm not sure, but I'll be back.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for playing. Yeah.
Love to play.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna hang around here, and we want to go to bed. So you're welcome to stay here and just watch us chat. Oh, Dolores said meditation. That's what her husband does.
It's not normally one of the things I recommend.
Let's see. I'm just looking at the comments. Let's see. Hang on. Microphone that I can. Okay. Hey, Tony. Tony, the thing about Tony is he loves what he does. So whenever he starts talking, like he's always teaching. But wait, Tony, hang on really quickly. Sorry to be rude. Sandy said, Tony's class was hypnosis training, basic hypnosis instructions, and self-hypnosis, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And he's fantastic.
He's fantastic, yeah.
Yes.
It's easier to make you stop smoking than it is to change the way you eat. Because I can't make you quit eating. You have to eat.
All right, so I don't know what to say anymore. So I'm just going to leave the microphone on, and you can truly just be a fly on the wall. And if someone wants to pick up the mic and...
What do you think about the angel and the devil or whatever?
Okay. Let's see. They're huddling over there. I think you can hear him. Hear them.
I believe there are evil people, but I don't believe evil is incarnate by itself. So
Let me put it this way. Wait. She asked a question. So why don't you use regression?
the reason I don't use regression is unless there's something you're not sure that keeps coming back. And again,
All right.
if you want to find out, I don't have a problem with that. I can take
Hi, you guys. I'm totally off my element here. I don't know what to say. But hi, thanks for joining and watching. This is great fun. Did Albert buy the heron? Ooh, I don't know. I know he took it home with him. So I would say yes. We have, I think Bev did 3 herons here. So we have, she gave us one. So I know we're taking one home too. We haven't decided if we're taking it home or if we're gonna leave it here at the studio. I'm thinking we're gonna leave it here because it's really neat when people come and they can see it. But then Albert took the other heron, and I know the mini heron. It sewed before she even came here. So yeah. Anyway, so yes. New comments. Okay, Bree, I don't know what you're laughing at, but people laugh at me, so I'm used to it. Okay. All right. Let's see. So yeah, this has been our party, and it's pretty cool. I think Curious Mondo is gonna be. It's gonna this coming. I think it's January, February, March. I think it's March. This coming March, we are going. It's going to be our 3rd year anniversary, which is remarkable. So every year we do a little celebration, and today we did this one. And Shalene was awesome. She brought so much food, but we actually don't know what to do with. Right, Bev? So there's like a whole table, and the cool thing is she brought to-go boxes. So. Bree, you're being nice. So people are walking out with to-go boxes, which is awesome. And let's see, I know Chase is gonna love it. Our crew loves it when there's food here. Like, they really love it. They're always available to work when they know a course is gonna have food. Let's see, we'll see. So Tony, I don't know what Tony is. You can see they're asking questions about hypnosis. Ooh, forensics hypnosis. I don't know if you can hear. I'm just like eavesdropping. You see, if I come here and talk to you guys, I don't have to go in there and talk to them, which I do okay talking to people, but I feel like I don't know, social things. Like I'm shy, so yeah. Anyway, okay, so. If you have any questions for anyone, I am really good at interrupting people, and I can ask. In fact, I see Bev over there. I'm like so tempted to call her. Where's Karen Baker when I need her? She'll just pick up and start talking. She's good. You did great talking to people. Thanks, Sandy. So today was fun. I mean, we had this week has been super busy, and I know like most of you have been here with us. I mean, Sandy and Bree, you guys have totally been here all week. So we had started on Monday through Wednesday. We had the heron course, which was fabulous. And then each day we did, we had our Mondo market programming. So we had it today. We have tomorrow. But then we had the get-together, yes. Oh, no, the sculpting bash. That was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. I was behind the scenes. That was super fun. And you can go back to it and watch it on YouTube. And you can also watch last year's. So just go on our Curious Mondo YouTube channel and you can see it. And then let's see. Yes, I am pretty tired. I'm definitely very tired, but it's worth it. So let's see. We had and today we had the party. See, I'm just rambling on. We had the party. There's Artem. Look, you can see. Let's see. tomorrow we have something. Oh, tomorrow we have Bev is going to shoot the bonuses. Usually we shoot the bonuses on the last day of class, so usually it's on Wednesdays. But because this week was super busy, we decided to do it on Thursday, and this way we can wake up a little later in the day. So tomorrow Bev shoots her bonuses, and the Mondo makers, so some of the Mondo makers who are in town, some of them left already, like Penny left, but some of them who are in town will actually watch the class, the bonus class here at the studio. So that will be definitely fun. I'm actually really curious how Bev is going to do that, the butterfly with the, did you see that paper? It showed up earlier, the little purple paper. So that's going to be, I want to see how that's done. Let's see. What else? Day one is already in the student area. Yep, it is. Our crew is awesome. So, yeah, it's there. And I think they're almost done with day 2, actually. And they already started editing day 3. So it'll be there soon. It's never, for safety, we always go, it'll be available. Official dates is like a week later. But usually it's like at the end of the week, it's already there. What else? They are awesome. Yes, they totally are. What else? Oh, and the conversation over there with Tony, look at that. They're totally engaged. Let's see what they're talking about.
Developing your spiritual gifts is the one.
Ooh, developing your spiritual gifts. That's what I heard. Tony has so it's really kind of cool. So we have Curious Mondo, the studio right here that you're seeing today, but down the street, pretty much down the street from where we're at, there's the warehouse, Mondo Market, and just coincidentally, Tony, his business, I forget the name. There's like an actual name for his business, obviously. But for his place of business, anyway, he's like next door to us, so it's way cool. But that was complete coincidence. Like we've known him for years, and it just so happened that we ended up renting like so close. Getting fast. Ooh, will the Dragon class have Mondo makers too? Well, you guys want the inside info, huh? I don't think so. It's honestly not something that we have discussed as a team yet. Let's see, the class will be in June. But I don't know. I don't think so. We haven't talked about it yet. So here's what needs to happen. Actually, why do we keep holding this, right? Like, you can just make my life easier and just put it on. Okay, so we have, it's in June, so there's quite some time until then. But what needs to happen is, we're now, after this week, we're gonna rest a little, and then we're gonna have like a team powwow and just do a pros and cons of what happened this week, how we can improve and all of that, and measure, results, like how did it go? And so based on that, I suppose then we can make a decision if Mondo makers come. I will say that personally, I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. For me, it was really neat because, we've been doing these courses for almost 3 years. And I hear about you guys doing these things at home, and we see it on the group, in the group. But there's something about actually seeing it happen that is like, whoa, this is way cool. Like the moment we saw, because we had some people there who had, like one of the gals there, Carol, who you might have seen her interview on Creativity and Focus. She's a fabulous artist, and she does like lots of glass work, and she does weaving and things like that. But she never really did paver pole, like never. And so this was definitely an introduction to her. And it was so rewarding and so cool to see it come to life, like for her to do this and for her to see that it can be done. It was amazing. Like we had Brandy also, you saw her at the competition. And just seeing her do, like this was really cool. She walked up to us afterwards at the end of the date today. She was like, I just want to thank you because I just saw that I can be an artist, like that I am an artist. And it was really cool. Like I was telling our team, I told Chase, I was like, Chase, if you ever have any doubts, our director, if you ever have any doubts that you're making a difference, just think of Brandy. Like when she came to us and she said, thank you, I finally can say that I'm an artist. That was like, you're definitely touching people, you're definitely making a difference. And I feel like our people here need to know that, you know? That's why we have the maps on the walls. Like they have to see the places that we are reaching and that the people who from all over the world. It's awesome it's rewarding on a very personal and emotional level. So anyway, I just went off on this little tangent. I don't know why I started saying that. But let's see. Getting faster. Bree said this was a lot of work, I am sure. Sandy said they all did great, and it was nice to see and how they felt about it. My microphone's falling. Hang on. There we go. Bree said, "Aw, you all do make a big difference in people's lives." But sometimes we don't know, you know? Sometimes, I mean, yeah, we know. But it's, oh, I remember where I was going with this. Sandy, you asked me if we're going to have Mondo makers back here. So yeah, I don't know, that's the answer. I'm sure we'll have Mondo makers. I just don't know if it'll be for the Dragon class. And I'm excited about the Dragon class. That's going to be amazing. So just so you know, like Shahar tried to get Bev to commit to the Dragon class, right, Bev? She was like, you should do a Dragon class, but Bev was like, oh, okay, maybe. But then we walk into this room with all the Mondo makers, and we're like, guess what? The next class is a Dragon class, and everyone was like, yeah. So yep, that's kind of how it happened. So she committed, and then we announced it in class. She's laughing right now. So yeah, that was that. That's gonna be exciting because now Bev has to figure out how to do a mini dragon because that dragon is massive. It's amazing. Did you see? Like it blows fire and everything. And the removable wings, like we were discussing today, like she was sharing with me how she's going to accomplish that. It's way cool. So anyway, I'll bring it up. Sandy, I'll bring up Mondo Makers in June because that would be fun. And I think that would give you enough time to come down, right? And you too, Bree. Okay, so let's see. Dragons, can't wait. Susan, what did I miss? I don't know. You might have missed a lot. But you're here now. That's what's awesome. Except for this is the end of the party. Like, they're talking over there, and I'm just babbling over here. And, but this was a crazy fun week, Susan. Let's see. Sandy said, yes, the Dragon class will be amazing. FYI, I need to get some Powerball, so don't sell all of it. All right, so we need to, I actually don't even know how much we have now. Yes, so tomorrow I will know for sure. Because, yes, tomorrow I will know for sure. Let's see. But yeah, Sandy, definitely get your Powerball supply soon because it takes a minute for it to arrive. Like seriously, takes a while. So if you're thinking about it, like definitely get it because you don't want to be without. We have we have the Powerball. We have the Powercolor Silver and Gold. We have you know what we have. We have the Powerball, the 1,000 grams. I think bronze, and then we have the smaller tubs in silver, and we have the Josephine varnish, and the Paver wrappers. I think Bev used the Paver wrappers in Bev. Hey Bev. Well, Tony's got her truly engaged, but anyway, she used it for something I don't remember. Don't forget, it can't freeze. Yes, Bev, Bree, that's true. However, it looks like it needs to get really, really, really cold for that to happen, right? Like it needs to get really cold for the pepper ball to freeze. Like, oh yes, you're gonna come save me.
Drinking water.
You're hydrating. That's good.
I'm hydrating.
So,
What were you asking?
So, yeah, look who's here. Okay, so they have questions for you, I'm sure. Okay. One question. The official answer is I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it out there and see. They want to know if there will be Mondo makers here for the dragon class.
I don't know.
But that is certainly an idea.
It's going to be how you guys get it sorted out and organized.
Yeah, I told them
it was a lot of work
I
for you
told them
guys.
that after this week, we're going to do a powwow session, team meeting.
An assessment.
Assessment, exactly.
Yeah.
And then we'll know for sure. But
yeah.
Sandy, would you come down? Bree, would you come down? Charlotte, you're close by.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us.
So
know
the one
if
thing
you're
that I
interested.
would need in order to do that again, one of the shortcomings that we had is we would need to have somebody who's experienced in the classroom guiding the students. Guiding the students.
Yes.
So
yes, because well, you guys kind of got the feel for how this went, but what we did is because our top priority was the course, right? And so we were here at Curious Mondo shooting this, and then the Mondo makers were at Mondo Market doing it there. And so they had Bev at all times because they were watching Bev on the big screen, but that's how it was. So they were truly just following along from the same class that you watched at home.
Yep.
And then Bev, after the course, each day would go there and
after each session I went in and just kind of at the end of the day,
at the
right?
end of each day, yeah.
And so by then it was like, oh, there were some shortcomings in what needed to be taught. So because they were working on something a little bit different than what we were.
I think too, because they just didn't have a reference there. That was the thing.
Yeah.
But so Bev would go and critique the things and just show, give them advice, tips and tips. It was super amazing experience for them for sure.
They certainly seem to enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So Charlotte says yes. I'm 3 miles away. She's super close. Sandy said yes. She would be interested in coming. Well, you were gonna come down anyway, right? I think so. Okay. Charlotte is asking, can you explain Mondo makers? I missed what that is.
So the Mondo makers are basically who take the class, and they're the creative. There's the teachers, and then there are the people who are being taught too.
Yes, Mondo makers, Charlotte. It's you. It's me. It's Shahar. It's Bree. It's Sandy. It's everyone who create beautiful things, who make beautiful things around the world.
Yeah.
Mondo means world. A lot of people don't know this.
Oh, I didn't.
So Curious Mondo, like Curious World. And Mondo makers. So our community of friends, we're all Mondo makers. We're creating and making beautiful things.
Yeah, cool.
Yes. All right, Bev. You good? Woohoo, Bev. Yeah, see, she got all excited that she came on set with us.
It's a weary Bev now. She's tired.
Yes. Sandy needs to get supplies. So once she's certified, she's going to teach classes.
Perfect. Awesome. That's very
Sandy,
exciting. And Sandy,
I
I have to go and do the critiquing on your piece as well too. So when I get back to the city.
Yes. Yes. I'm just looking. Okay. Susan said, "I love anything to do with dragons." I'm thinking this course is going to be a hit, Bev.
I didn't know dragons were so popular.
Right?
I really didn't know. So I really have to. I have to make some. I have to create the pattern is what I have to do.
Okay. And then go from there?
Yeah.
When you're creating, do you do you sketch it out? What's your creative process?
So what I'll do is, and so for the mini, I have to figure out what's going to be something that's going to be easy to teach. So it's going to have to be basic enough that I can do the basic instruction, but that will give everybody a foundation that they can branch off of and work with. And then it also has to be easy enough that I can teach it in 9 hours.
Yes.
So there's a few things to consider there. And then I have to be able to transport it in my
Back to Canada,
suitcase.
like, internationally.
No, transport it in my suitcase to have a sample,
Yes.
right? So there's a lot to consider in that. But I have to refine the process enough that I can explain it. Because like the heron class, I didn't have to refine anything.
I mean, you can do that with your eyes closed.
In my eyes closed. I wasn't stressed at all
Yeah.
about, like, remember when you asked for the outline? I'm like, dip, 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 dip. And it was like one word answers for some of the hours. And I'm thinking, I'm sure she's wondering if I have enough content to put in this hour.
No, I was not. I knew you did. Yeah.
So that's what I need to do is I have to create a scale that is going to be appropriate, where I can know that this wire has to be 12 inches and this one has to be 10, and I need the right size of base and stuff.
Yes.
So,
By the way, Sandy said, "Be kind, Bev."
be kind.
When you do her critique.
Yeah.
for the
Oh,
certification.
absolutely. And the thing is, I'll be kind, but I'm going to be honest, because you need to. Yeah, I'm going to be honest.
Yes. Uh-oh.
Excuse me. When are we going to go to bed?
Soon. I'm hoping.
Okay, wait, I've been missing.
People, you need to sleep.
Okay, yes. Well, Shahar, we need to decide when is enough enough.
Enough is now.
Um,
It's late here.
Sandy said, yes, I want honest. And Susan said the heron was awesome.
Thank you.
All right. So, Shahar, I mean, you get to pull
Time
the
to
plug.
go home.
Okay.
Time to go home.
So sit over here while I go.
no.
No, wait.
Come and say adios.
Well,
Adios.
Shahar, you gotta say goodbye for the party, right? They were here with us. So have a seat,
I'm not going to have a seat.
and I will say I will pull the plug. I'm gonna be the person.
Okay, go there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And thank you for being here with us.
I think she got excited about this having a party online thing.
I
I
think
could only
she
hear her
quite.
voice.
I think she quite enjoyed it. I think she
Good.
really enjoyed it.
Guys,
So
the thing is, in the last 3 days, we made Bev work non-stop.
yep.
Right? We haven't.
It wasn't
slept
quite
much.
as hard as the last time I was up.
You think that was?
Oh yeah, because remember in between the classes I was building the herons,
Oh
right?
my gosh! Yeah.
Yeah. So
we need to
it's
rest.
modus operandi when I come to Utah.
Yeah, I know.
But I get no sleep.
And she saw the instructors today, the same thing. I have to do this. And I have to do that. But we do have to go to bed.
Yeah, because we still have some work to do
And
tomorrow.
we have to be here tomorrow to shoot all the bonuses.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you very much for being here with us. I cannot read the comments because I don't have my glasses.
Yeah, and I'm too
But-
far away, so
But
but
we
we'll catch
do-
them online later.
Yes, and we do really appreciate your support and being here and chatting with all the instructors. It means a lot to them too, right? Because some instructors, they come here and then they come back maybe 9-10 months later. So, you know, it's important what they do here. They love
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
So it was good for,
And
for
that was
everybody, this.
really clear this time around as to how important what we do.
Yes.
It was very, very clear.
Yes.
So it's
So, and
a happy
of course,
heart.
every time you're here late with us, either because it's 1 a.m. in Australia when you're watching or right now, it really means a lot because that means support to us.
Yep.
It's worth going to bed late.
Yep. Yeah.
So I think we will see you back on Monday, right? You are going to be in Canada.
I'm going to be in Canada, probably trying to catch up on all my other things.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much,
Hopefully
guys.
selling my house.
Yes, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.